live vlog. My name's Brad. This is Inspirational Ambivert channel. Today it's Sunday the 31st of August 2025. I'm in the UK. I can't believe that this, let me make sure that's working. Microphone's working, that's good. Can't believe this, well, I can believe the month. Let me make sure that's working. Sorry, I turned that off. I can't believe this has gone so quickly. This month has gone so quickly. Hi, Yorick, good morning. You first on here, yeah, good to see you. I hope you're okay. Yeah, so good to have you with us, by the way, Yorick. So this is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog, episode 30. I'm going off track a little bit. The title for today is, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts? And this is my honest views on spirituality. I don't always talk about these things in general within my life, but on here I'm going to do so. Yorick saying he's just woken up. No worries, Yorick. I know the feeling when you just wake up. It takes a while to get going again. Well, it does for me. So, hi, Sander, as well. Good morning. Good to have you with us. And I'm just going to type a question in before I speak. Do you believe in ghosts, or is it all in our heads? I've had thoughts of both of these things throughout. I'm thinking to myself, I believe in ghosts. And then I think to myself, and then I've had times in my life where I'm thinking, is it all in my head? Am I being silly? I'm going to discuss these things in depth as we go along. But I've had so many experiences that I can't discredit it, in my opinion. A lot of people won't agree with me, which I completely respect. Not everyone has to agree with me with this. Absolutely not. Everyone's got their own views. I'm just typing a question into the chat so people know what we're talking about. Here we go. Let's just get started. So do you believe in ghosts, or is it in our heads? Do you think there is something? Or do you think there's just not? Which is fine. Doesn't mean, if you don't believe in them, that's fine. If you believe in them, that's fine as well. Or you're not sure, that's also fine. Okay. I'm going to go with the comments for now. So Yorick's saying, I saw paranormal activity once in my old house. Saw a door closing by itself. Could have been the wind, but the window's closed. Wow. But that was quite, yeah, but that was an interesting moment. So the door closed by itself. Sandra's saying, I believe there is something there if you open a little window for it to come in. Open it up in your own mind, potentially. Yorick, and then Sandra says, Yorick, yeah, I expect that was quite scary as well. So I've got quite a few experiences with that kind of thing. I was once in my mum and dad's house, which is an old house, an old terraced house, let's say. They still live there now. And I was living with them at the time. And at the time I used to smoke, and I was stood in the kitchen at the back door of the kitchen where the backyard is, the back garden, let's say. And then I was stood there, and there was a loaf of bread, a full loaf of bread on the side of the counter, a full loaf of bread. So it's not super heavy, but there's some weight to it. And then it just bump on the floor, and it landed on the floor. And there was no reason why that could have happened, in my opinion. There was no wind. The wind wouldn't have blown the bread. It'd have to be super windy for that bread, because it was in the house, to be blown over. I also get goosebumps. Everyone experienced goosebumps? And it's just like a tingling sensation. Like a cold kind of tingling sensation. Has anyone ever experienced that? And I was experiencing that at the same time as well. So that's my one of my stories. And I thought, that's something there. I knew there was something there in my mind. Let's go back to the comments anyway. Yorick saying, I think when you open your third eye, you are more open to see paranormal activity. Absolutely, Yorick. I agree. I've got something in relation to that as well to say, which I'll go into soon. Santa saying 100% Yorick. Yorick saying, I tried opening my third eye with 100 Hg frequency, not sure if it worked. I think it takes a lot of work to do that. I'm not an expert at these things, by the way. Just to be open and honest, I'm not like an expert at these things. I do have experiences with these things. I only let so much of it in because I think it's too much for me personally. I think I've got my own life to live, etc. But I think it's very interesting, and it also gives me hope. It gives me hope because this life's hard. It gives me hope. If this, the worst case scenario, think about this. The worst case scenario is you live, you die, and then there's nothing. That's my opinion. That could potentially be the worst case scenario, couldn't it? If you don't believe in ghosts, for example. Yorick's then saying, but some say you shouldn't open it as some are not ready for it. Exactly, Yorick. You see the world in black and white and for what it is. Yeah, you only see what's in front of you in this three-dimensional world that we live in, this three-dimensional level that we live in. Hi, Ben Chessman. Hi, Ben. Good to have you with us. My name is Brad, by the way, Ben. Let's see what you've got to say. People claim to see ghosts, yet they never say about the ghost dinosaurs. They must exist. So you don't believe in it. That's fine, Ben. I get what you're saying. Yeah, what about the ghost dinosaurs? No, I've never seen a ghost dinosaur. No, I haven't. I haven't. So you're thinking that it's you're thinking it's not true, Ben, which is absolutely fine. Not everyone's going to believe in it. Does anyone know for certain as well? Is a big question as well. I suppose it's been this kind of question's been asked since the beginning of time. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. So I'm going to talk about why I believe in them. Don't expect everyone to agree with me, of course. So let me go with the comments. Sandra's saying, Brad, what you said, it's beautiful. Oh, thank you. I'd like to believe there's more to life than death. Yes, I would as well. Absolutely. Meaning death isn't the end. I don't think it's the end. It's in my head, I know it's not the end. However, I am open, of course, to other people's opinions because I'm not going to try to force my opinion on anyone, by the way, either. I'm just giving my opinion, and I respect other people's opinions as well, by the way. Do you know what I'm saying? Dinosaurs can't have ghosts as it's only humans that have spirit and consciousness. Good point. That's a good perspective, Yorick. Yorick, you're very clever and wise and clever. I agree, Sandra. Sandra says you're getting goosebumps watching this video in a good way. Oh, good. So I'm going to talk about why I believe in them. Okay, so when I was younger, I'm going to give you a little story now. I don't usually tell people this story, but I'm going to share it today. In relation to what we're speaking about. When I was really young, let's say 4 years old, I remember being in bed and I remember seeing, I just remember seeing faces when I was really young, and I'd see them in my room, in my bedroom, and you could think that's a child's imagination running away with itself. Of course you could believe that. I get why you think that. But this is my experience. This is my perspective. And I used to see imagine like a smoke colour, but I'd see faces and ghosts in the room. I'd see them in the room, and I was trying to fight. I'd get up and I'd try and fight them with my plastic sword. I've not told many people this story. But I was 4-year-old fighting these ghosts off. Little kid. Could it be my imagination running away with itself? From my perspective, though, it was happening. It was happening. That was happening. Trust me, that was happening from my perception of things, and that happened quite often. Quite often when I was young. And I remember going to speak to a teacher. I built up enough courage. Yeah, a little plastic sword, like a little kid, little saddle or whatever. I remember telling one of my teachers about it. And it took me a lot of courage, and it took me like weeks to build up the courage to speak to them. And then I went to them, and they just shrugged me off like, shut up, you little dickhead, what are you on about? That's probably what they thought. And they just shrugged me off. And then I was like, oh, I really wanted to speak to someone about it. But I couldn't. And then I just dismissed it, let's say. And I also remember being very, very young, led down. And I remember, God, I'm just going a bit deep now. Sounds crazy, this might sound crazy, but I'm going with it. Anyway, I remember seeing like a battle happening and loads of fire. And I used to lie in bed, and it was like I could see people fighting. It was on top of my bedroom, and there was a window, and the hill went up. It's a hill right up to like where the window is of my old house. There's a hill, and then something at the top. This could have been a dream. This could have been my imagination, of course. But I used to see like fire and things happening, like a fight, like a battle, and I'd see it quite frequently. And that was my story as a child with the spirits, basically. The ghost that I saw when I was younger, that's what I interpreted it as. Anyway, I got a bit older then. So I'm getting a bit older now. I'm 7, 8 years old. I've not really seen that thing. That just drifted away. That stopped happening. But I was still interested in ghosts as a kid. I just found it interesting. And then nothing happened. Nothing happened, basically, for a few years. And then, how do I go about it now? So then you're just dismissing it. But I'd sometimes go downstairs at my house and I'd feel like goosebumps sometimes. And I'd run back upstairs scared. Maybe that's just fear or whatever. One moment. But anyway, that was that. Then I got to like 20 years old, 21 years old. And I was always interested in meditation, things like that, but was very underdeveloped. I remember getting a self-hypnosis book and I did a lot of meditation. I went deep into meditation. I think I must have been about 24, 25, if I'm honest. And I was doing it every day for hours for a good few months, therefore opening the third eye potentially. But I was underdeveloped, of course. I was untrained, of course. And I remember just doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And then something opened up and honest to God, I'd be led in bed and I'd close my eyes and I'd see them just drifting around everywhere. I know it sounds crazy. This might sound crazy to some people, but to me, it was real. It is real to me. I'd see the spirits. It's like a smoke. Imagine you've got smoke, the color of smoke, grey smoke, but you close your eyes and I could see the faces. I could see them drifting around me. There'd be I'd lie to my left. There'd be some there. I'd lie to my right. There'd be some there. I'd have feeling tingles and all sorts of things. And they'd be in the room all the time at that point. And I thought, oh my God, I want this to stop. I was a little bit scared, but not really scared. And I think this is too much. What the hell is fucking going on? I thought I was losing my mind potentially, but I do have a strong mind. I'm thinking, I want this to go away. This is awful. All these spirits maybe it's like a beacon, aren't you? Potentially. That's the way I see it. You're a beacon and these spirits are thinking, oh, we've got someone that's receptive to us on this frequency and they come to you potentially. If you're going to believe in this type of thing. And that was happening quite a lot at one point. It was happening quite a lot. Yeah, it's some deep shit. I know I know it's deep shit. I don't speak about this usually because I think people might think I am bloody crazy, which I am not. But they might think that, which is fine. Everyone's got their own opinion. So yeah, that was happening a lot. And another one is, what else did I used to see? Oh my God. I used to see a very dark figure as well, really tall, dark figure. And it'd have like a hat. Like shadow people, they call them shadow people. I used to see those in my room a lot as well, with a hat, really tall, thin, tall, and they'd have a hat on as well, really tall, and that was quite scary as well. I used to see that at that time as well. I'll crack on with more stories in a moment, but I'm going to go back to back to people's comments, should I say. And yeah, I think it was my third eye opening, back to what Yorick was saying, potentially. But it's underdeveloped, of course. And I always have this feeling, and I get it sometimes. It's like a tingling feeling. I've also, another story, sorry. I've been led down on the couch in my mum and dad's house, which I believe is haunted. Actually, I know it's haunted. And then I'd seen the apparition come across like that. So an apparition of like a figure, like a grey, a ghostly figure just coming across like so. And I just saw it just coming across. Sorry, I'm trying to speak the best I can about this. I usually talk, my name's Brad, by the way, that anyone hasn't seen me before. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. I don't usually talk about this specifically. I usually speak about self-improvement, self-awareness, resilience, the difficulties that men face in today's society. I talk about a wide variety of topics. Usually it's in relation to self-improvement though. But today I'm going with this. It was Dawn that recommended it, so I'm talking about it. I asked the community, what do you want me to talk about? And I think Glassy mentioned something I did last week, and Dawn mentioned this, so I'm going with it, basically. I don't know how this live's going to go, how it's going to be interpreted. I put myself out there a little bit, because I know it could sound very strange to some people. Let me go back to the comments. I'm just going down one moment. Yorick saying, if something bad in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Remember that song? Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. Yorick saying, I ain't afraid of no ghost. No, I'm not afraid of it. I think you should be more afraid of the living, by the way. More afraid of the living. But also, I think to myself is, I've had these experiences and I still get them now. I still fucking get them now. I get them now, trust me. And usually it's the goosebumps feeling. Most of the time, I just sense it. It's a sense that I have. But it gives me hope because I think there's another side. I think there's hope. I think there's hope at the end. I think there's something else other than what we don't understand. And our frequencies can't pick up on those other things. I think there's hope. And yeah, basically, it gives me hope. It's better than the worst case scenario. Like I said, is you live, you suffer, you fucking die, and then that's it. Game over. The end. Imagine that. All right. Okay, that was good. Really good. Great life. Amazing. Amazing. I think it's good to have hope. Started saying, oh, that's some deep shit. Love it though. Sounds amazing. Yorick is then saying, if you are a beacon, you might have your third eye open, Brad. Yes, I do have my third eye open. However, it's not fully developed because I think it takes a lot of work and discipline. And I just feel like I've got a very busy life and I don't want to go any deeper into it. I don't want to, I block it now. I block it as best I can. Yorick saying, have you ever tried talking to your apparition? Yes, I have. To leave you alone? Yes, I have. I do that as well. I do that. That's just blocked it basically, or maybe recording it. I've not tried recording it, mate. I've not tried recording it. So anyway, what else was I saying? I'll give you my experiences here the best I can. Another experience that I had was I was on holiday. I was in an apartment and I was led down. And there was paintings on the wall, whatever, in this apartment, holiday apartment, let's say. And I was led down and I remember just opening my eyes and I just see a guy looking at a painting, an old man in black. He was dressed in black and he was staring at the painting. And this didn't happen just once. This happened like 7, 8 times, man. Honestly, in the space of like 2 days it was. And then later did I find out that there was a guy that painted that. There was a man that painted that lived in the local area that had passed away. So I think it was him. It was like a small guy. I think it was a small guy. That's my other ghost experience. Has anyone else had any experiences with ghosts? Does people believe in what I'm saying? Do they believe in what I'm saying? Or do you think I'm talking absolute rubbish? Is it a figment of my imagination? You could believe that, couldn't you? If you're going to go down the more logical type of thinking. Trying to say, I know seeing things like you, Bab, I believe you. Yeah. I also, where do I work? I work in the hospital. I get changed in an old part of the hospital. So there's different, imagine the hospital, there's like really, really old part, then there's a newer part. There's different parts of the hospital. It's got bigger as time's gone on, obviously because the population's grown, hasn't it, since the like 1900s. But I get changed, I get dressed in an older part of the hospital and I sense something there often. Like last time I've sensed it was last week and it's just a goosebumps feeling. I can just feel it there. It's something that I never usually feel either. It's just different, man. And honestly, it's just a tingly feeling, like a sensation. Sandra's saying, I've seen Greek philosophers while meditating. That's amazing. I'm in front of my eyes. That's absolutely amazing. That's the kind of thing that I'm on about, Sandra. I've seen an American Indian woman at the edge of my bed, sat on the edge of my bed once, and I didn't want her to go. I wanted her to stay. Sounds crazy, I know. I know it sounds crazy, but I did. I thought, oh, I wanted to stay. It was really nice. Nice experience. Wasn't scared at all. I used to be more scared of these things when I was younger. Now I'm not scared of it. I think it's just another thing that's there. It's just another spirit, another person, basically, for whatever reason. I know there's a lot we don't understand. There's a lot we can't see. There's a lot I don't understand. Anyway, let's carry on. Yorick's then saying, I feel the government don't want people to open their eyes, the third eyes. No, they don't. They want you to be asleep. So they sell us poison food. Yes, highly processed, shitty food. Absolutely. They spray loads of pesticides on there, amongst other things. I agree, Yorick. And even fast food limits it, like McDonald's, etc. It says they don't want people to be more aware. No, they don't. They want us to be asleep. They want us to be in like a mental type of prison. They want us to keep us. They want to keep us down. Yeah, I believe in that. Maybe it's like the calcification of the third eye as well. Sandra's saying that's correct, Yorick. I agree. I agree. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. Yes, they want. It's like a gridlock in it. They don't want you to awaken. They don't want you to become aware. They want to prevent it, basically. All about control. Yorick Brown saying fresh, organic grown foods and vegetables help it more. Absolutely. What you're putting into your body is going to help you with regards to that. Sandra's then saying, I've also been really unwell a couple of years ago. So I started reading, meditating and colouring every day. That led me to spontaneously start chatting to my loved ones that have passed away. After a few days, I saw a beautiful butterfly inside my apartment of the ceiling. I also saw feathers next to my sofa. That can also be a sign, can't it? Feathers, yep. I've had a spiritual awakening, yep, so have I. I think once you do, you can't turn it off completely. I think once you do, you can't turn it off completely. Once it's opened up a little bit, yeah. Kai, hi Kai, good to have you with us, by the way. My name's Brad. You're saying I don't believe in anything, which is absolutely fine, Kai. And I really wish I could, man. You really wish you could. It's up to you. And also, what do I think as well? I think all religions point to the same thing, all to the source. I think that God is energy. That's my opinion. I respect other people's religions, of course, and other people's beliefs, because that's fine. I think they all point to the fucking same thing, man. I really do. Jordan Zortadega saying, people don't usually confuse their farts with ghosts. Oh dear. Ryder 94, good to have you with us, Ryder. Yeah, butterflies are signs to feel good. Yes. Feathers as well are a sign, potentially. Also, angel numbers, if you're going to go down that road. Santa's saying you don't really want to turn it off. LOL, no, you don't. I think it's good to be awakened. It's good to be aware. It's good to be attuned to things. I think that's what we're here for. We're here for personal growth. We're here to grow. We're here to develop. We're here to create, amongst other things. Santa's saying, yeah, Ryder, yeah, thank you. I never had a butterfly inside my apartment. That's very nice. Yorick saying, Jordan, don't be a kid. You're going to get that, Yorick, but thank you. Santa's saying hello to Kai. Of course, though, if I'm completely honest, like I do believe in these things, of course. However, I have had skepticism in my mind, thinking, am I losing it? Am I imagining things? Is this something I don't understand about the brain or whatever that is? I have had moments where I've been skeptical about things, of course, and I understand that people could be skeptical of these things, and I don't want to disrespect other people's opinions either, of course. Not everyone's going to see things the same way, are they? And nor should they. That's cool. I'm open to people disagreeing, but respectively, of course. I'm just going to have a little rest, one moment, sip of tea. I can't see that comment, if I'm honest. Maggot, what experiments, like lobotomies? I don't know what you mean by that. Explain. I didn't see that comment either, Sander, by the way. I didn't see Maggot's comment there. So yeah, I've had a lot of experiences with spirits and things like that. I've even had it when I first started this journey with content creating. I've only been at it since the 30th of December. I started doing lives in April. I was doing them on my laptop at first because I couldn't do it on my phone because YouTube wouldn't let me because I didn't have enough subscribers at the time. On that note, thank you for everyone that's subscribed, by the way. It means a hell of a lot. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. I'm just saying thank you to you all, by the way. What was I going to say then? I was using my laptop anyway. To be not laptop, my PC. The camera on my PC, that's what I was using to create the content at first. I was hardly getting any views, if any, but basically none, next to no views, trust me. And I used, sorry, it sounds strange again, but I used to experience things then, like sensations then. I used to get, basically goosebumps when I was making the videos, and I thought, that's a sign that I need to be doing this. This is, I'm not just talking about this. I'm meant to be creating content. I'm meant to try and help people. I am meant to try and inspire people. That's one of the reasons why I think I'm here. That's why I'm here. Amongst other things, of course. Okay, let's go back to the comments. Sandra's saying, I can't see it now either, Brad. No, I can't see that comment. Strange, LOL. Maggot was saying, in the old part of the hospital, there was experiments in the 1880s. Interesting. I bet they did as well. I bet they tried all sorts. Especially then when they didn't have the knowledge and experience that they have today with regards to science, etc. Sandra's then saying, Yorick, it happened to me spontaneously. I was working on myself and it happened. Sorry, Yorick, I've ignored. Should I try open my third eye? Yorick is saying. Do it cautiously, Yorick. And if I'm completely honest, I am not an expert at that. And I can't advise you with that if I'm completely honest. I've got experiences with it, but there's people that know it much better than I do. So do get like a professional or expert's opinion and guidance with that, Yorick, if you're going to do it. I personally can't give you that, though, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't want to give someone advice that could cause them harm. That's what I'm trying to say. I will never do that. I don't think that's a good thing to do. Vincent, hi Vincent, good to have you with us. Love the eyebrows, thank you, Vincent. A lot of people comment on my eyebrows, man. Usually in life, people never comment on my eyebrows, but on here, people have commented on my eyebrows quite a few times. I'll take that as a compliment, though, Vincent. Thank you. Sandra's saying, Yorick, when it happened, I felt complete bliss. Yes. Rider 94, do you know the Sapphirate? It's a diagram about the spiritual journey of the human realm. Can you explain that, please, Rider 94? I might have seen elements of it, but I can't picture what the Sapphirate is in my mind right now. If you could explain that, that'd be really helpful. Thanks. Sandra saying hi to Vincent. Sandra is saying, Brad, that sounds interesting. Yes, I agree, Sandra. Brad, I'm jealous of your eyebrows, LOL. Right. I don't do anything with them. That's just how they are, man. But thank you anyway. Let's carry on with the video anyway. Let's carry on with the content. Let me think about what I'm going to say next. I've got my notes, by the way, but most of what I'm saying is spontaneous. I'm saying it, going with the flow, let's say. So really, with the whole ghost thing, it ties in with how people think about the unknown, doesn't it? It ties in with death as well, and spirituality. It gives you hope. I like to think that we see loved ones again. I like to think that we see loved ones again. I think this is like a school. The world is like a school. It's a hard fucking school. And I do believe in reincarnation as well. I do believe we come back sometimes. And I think there's another side. There's another side. That's where we come from, really. I think a lot of people don't get the lessons right, though. They come here and they keep making the same mistakes. And they keep going back and back and back. Imagine people that just don't accept responsibility. Imagine the people that they're never wrong. They're always in the right. They're rude to others. They're not very nice. They're very selfish. They're just nasty people, let's say. And they blame everyone else for all the problems. They're narcissistic, etc. Those type of people that have maybe suffered trauma or whatever. I think they should keep coming back potentially. Potentially. Could I be wrong? I don't know. Meant to be chaos. Are you gay? No, I'm not gay. Meant to be chaos. Are you gay is the question. Is that what you're into, meant to be chaos? You might be in the wrong room, meant to be chaos. Go somewhere else maybe if you want to find that kind of thing. Each to their own. Live and let live and all that. Santa saying screwed. Yeah, it's usual. That's what you're going to get as well. That's what I was just on about then. People like that. People like that. People that are going to be rude to others. People that are going to attack others because they feel they just want to. They're just lost, stuck. Basically, a bit sad, really. Not very strong people. Okay, Ryder, thank you for commenting again. Thanks for explaining. Ryder saying it's a diagram about being born into darkness and rising to the light with spiritual growth during lifetime. It shows also our body and the medians. Yes. First, you live in the sensoric realm before being enlightened. So there's different realms of consciousness. Yes. Little saying lightning crashes and an old mother cries. What do you mean by that, Little? Good to have you with us, by the way, Little. Sandra's saying, Ryder, that sounds amazing. Sandra's asking what Ryder's on about. I don't understand what Ryder's on about. I'm just going back to, Little's on about. Sorry, Ryder. Forgive me. Ryder's saying, it's a diagram. Sorry, I'm going back to what you're saying. It's a diagram about being born into darkness, yes, and rising to the light with spiritual growth during lifetime. I think that's what we're meant to be doing. I think that's what we're meant to be doing here, by the way. Absolutely. And part of it, in my opinion, is not being stuck in, is coming away from part of that process. There's a lot more to it than I'm just explaining. I don't know everything. This is my perspective on it, my opinion of it. Is a lot of it is, when you've got a lot of hate, you've got a lot of, let's say, drama, a lot of bullshit, a lot of people slagging each other off, or whatever that is. It's negativity. And it can be addictive. We can get sucked into those things and we can get angered by those things. I think coming away from that is taking a step back. Obviously, you protect yourself as well. It's taking a step back and not being too drawn to that anymore. Seeing it for what it is. It's silly games, isn't it? Silly bullshit. And coming away from it, becoming a different frequency, away from those three-dimensional, low negativity kind of vibes, let's say. Envy, jealous, like negative jealousy, let's say, negative egotistical bullshit, narcissistic bullshit, living a lie, that kind of thing could be deemed to be low frequency stuff, can't it? Eating loads of junk, too much junk food, just watching negative comments, having negative opinions, being narrow-minded, that could be low vibrational shit, and it's coming away from those things. And coming away from those things is not being drawn to them anymore. If you get what I'm trying to say. Some people have relationships, they're drawn to negative people, aren't they? They're drawn to toxic people. They're attracted. Some people are attracted to toxic people. They just are. They don't want someone who's stable and well put together. They just want the toxic. They want the toxic. They're drawn to that. Maybe there's a lesson for them in there, but it's coming away from that. That's part of what I'm trying to get to with regards to what you're saying, Ryder. That's what I'm trying to say with regards to what you're saying. I hope I'm explaining that as well as I can. I think there's, I've not seen that particular thing that you've written about. It sounds very interesting, but that's just my interpretation of what you've just said. I'm explaining it the best way I can. Little saying a song by Life and Death. I need to look into that, Little. I can't picture what that is. Yorick saying, so a Buddhist all have their eye open. Yeah, I'd say they do. I think that's what they're definitely, I think they do. One that's truly practicing. Sana saying, Yorick, yeah, most likely, yes, I'd agree. Misty 80s, hi, good to have you with us. Misty 80s, thank you for sharing, by the way. Thank you for joining us. My name's Brad, by the way. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel, just to reiterate to anyone that's just joined. Misty 80s is saying, I actually have two spirits that pass through my room here in the homeless shelter quite often. Oh, wow, interesting. One is male and the other is black, a black or dark furry cat. That's interesting, Misty 80s. So have you seen these things? Have you sensed these things? And do you feel scared of these things is a question as well. Sounds very interesting, by the way. Thank you for sharing. Little is saying band called Live, and it is about a dying girl giving birth. Wow, very deep, Little. Very deep. Thanks for sharing as well. Sandra's saying, if you meditate and go inward a lot, when you read, etc., it's likely it will happen. Yeah, we've got to open up your third eye. Yes. Sandra's saying, wow, Little, sounds dark but interesting. I agree. Lightning Crashes, great songs, Little says. Okay. Came out in the 90s. I might have heard it, Little, but I can't picture what song it is. Sandra's then saying, missed the 80s. Wow, that's pretty cool. Why are you in a homeless shelter? Do you work there or do you reside there? We don't know. I'm just going through the comments, guys, by the way, as you can see. Sandra says she's going to listen to that song. Miss the 80s is saying, Sandra, been waiting for affordable housing for roughly 2 years in counting. Four-leaf clover. I hope that you find it, Miss the 80s. I hope that you get there. God, that's a long time, isn't it? 2 years. I hope that you get that soon. Little is then saying, just truth is creation. His body is just a starry horse for spirit. I have previously incarcerated soul from 3,800 years ago. So truth to creation, his body is just a starry horse for spirit. Yeah, we're spirits in our bodies, aren't we? Our bodies obviously perish eventually, but the spirit lives on. And what's it called? Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sorry, Little, one moment. Then Maggot say, Buddhists say everyone has 83 problems. And the 84th problem is we don't want to have the 83 problems. Yeah. Good to have you with us, by the way, Maggot. I hope you're okay. Yorick says, saying, I sometimes watch ghost videos on YouTube. Some look like they can be, yeah, big time. There's a lot of fakes. Also, on that note, right, another thing, 1 second, I'm just going to drink this tea. On that note as well, for my opinion, a lot of fake shit out there, a lot of bullshit out there. I'm not trying to do that, of course. I'm not pretending to be anything. A lot of people, you get them on here as well, they'll be like tarot card readers and people that are saying that they're spiritual. And some of them will be genuine, let's say, but some of them will be full of shit. So be careful. I'm not saying I'm any of these things. I don't want to be that person. I'm just giving my perspectives. That's all I'm doing here, by the way. That's all I'm doing. I don't know everything. I'm giving my honest opinion. I'm open to discussion and debate, of course. There's a lot of people out there that are talking shit, so be careful as well with that kind of thing. With tarot card readers as well, you've got to determine what the real people are and what the fake are. I think there's a lot of charlatans out there that are just trying to earn money on the back of other people. I'm going off on a tangent there, but there you go. Just in relation to what Yorick said with fake and look real, there's a lot of fake out there as well with the videos on YouTube. I've seen them, Yorick. Rider 94, yeah, saying, yeah, the Sapphirate is a study worthy. It's study worthy. Okay, I need to look into that. I'm going to write that down. One moment, guys. Just 1 sec. I'm going to write it down because I can't. I've written it down. Thank you, Rider 94. I wish you and Sandra happy Sunday. I'll continue. I'm from southern Germany. Okay, cool, Ryder. Well, how's life in Germany, by the way? Happy Sunday back to you as well, of course. John Boy. Hi, John Boy. Good to have you with us. You believe in Ghostbusters? So must be ghosts. Yeah. So you've seen Slimer then, John Boy? That I used to like. I loved that film when I was younger. Ghostbusters, the first one, the original one. On a lighter note, let's say. And yeah. Anyway, missed the 80s. I've seen the cat a lot, and the male mostly into shifting shadows. However, the male has shouted in my ear one time, incredibly loud. Wow, 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 wow. Missed the 80s. That sounds quite scary, if I'm honest. Wow. Interesting, very interesting, Miss the 80s, very interesting. Sandra then saying, oh, wow, Miss the 80s. Yeah. Santa saying, Guten Tag, Ryder. Good day, Ryder, yes. John by saying 90s was the best. What, the 1990s? Yes, it was probably a more hopeful time, wasn't it? More affluent time in the UK, from my perspective. There was a lot more hope then. Going off topic, but that's absolutely fine, John Boy. I agree with a lot what we said. I agree with that statement, by the way. I understand. I think I understand where you're coming from to an extent. Sander's saying, Maggot, what do you mean by that? Sander's then saying hi to John Boy. Little then says, give this guy a like. He's great. Don't just stream, give a double click. Thank you, Little. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. And thank you for anyone that's liked. Thank you for anyone that's subscribed. It means a lot. So I'm just showing appreciation. So thank you. John Boy saying hello to Sander. Sander's then saying there's a chubby older lady on TikTok doing readings, saying she's psychic, LOL. And all she does is say she's tired and needs more time for the reading, but never does the reading. Yeah. So you've got a chubby, let's say, yeah, you've got a chubby older lady who's on TikTok, for instance. This is back to what I was saying. She's saying she's doing readings, but she's just talking about how tired she is. Like, be careful, because there's a lot of people talk. Some people talk shit, unfortunately. I'm trying not to do that. And of course, I don't want to be that person. I'd be a bit ashamed of myself if I was. Anyway, let's go back to one moment. Put the pen away. I'm going to move on. Let me change the comment on here, guys. Let me just change the topic a little bit. Views on spirituality. What are your views on spirituality? I'm going to tell you mine. AK99. Hello, AK99. There's a bloke in Wolverhampton who does readings whilst naked. That's weird, man. I think he's been shut down now. Yeah, that's weird, man. That's just weird. Sat there with his pink bit out. No, man, don't want to see that shit, do you? And as if you're going to pay that guy to do reading for you as well. It's just, wow. 10 out of 10 for, I don't know, having a go, I suppose. No, that's crazy. Also, as well, it's really, it's funny that, by the way, AK99. I'm glad I didn't see it, but it's a funny story. Imagine as well, you could be telling someone some advice or something and they believe you, and then like, you just talk, if you're talking shit and then you're charging them money for it, I think that's disgusting what people do. It's wrong, in my opinion. Kelvin 160679. What do I think of Most Haunted? I thought it was staged. Kelvin, if I'm honest, I thought it was staged. Yeah. What's it called? Derek Okora, wasn't it? And I think he was a fraud. I think he used to research the place first and then he'd talk about it. I think Derek Okora, who's not with us anymore, I think it was a fraud, Kelvin. Even though I do believe in ghosts, I do believe in the other side, I do believe in spirituality, but Most Haunted TV show, I thought was a fraud. A lot of it was just, I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it. And that Derek Okora was full of shit, in my opinion. What do you think, Kelvin? Sandra's laughing at AK99, saying thank you. She needed a laugh. Hello to Shilpa. Good to have you with us, Shilpa. Kelvin saying yes, probably. Yeah, I didn't think it was that Most Haunted program. No, sorry, I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it. My opinion, anyway. Tell me what you think, though, Kelvin. If you don't believe in what I'm saying, but that's how I interpreted it. That's how I interpreted it. I thought it was staged. Because it's a program and they need to entertain people, don't they? They need to create, that's what it's for, to entertain people, isn't it? So they need content. And I think they force the content sometimes. Maybe some of it was genuine though. Shilpa saying, being one with God is spirituality in a non-materialistic world. Wow, well said, Shilpa. I think God is energy. I think energy is everything. I think this might not agree with this. We are energy. There's energy inside us. Therefore, we are God. And I think when you're praying to your higher self. You're praying to yourself. You're praying to yourself. In my opinion, you're praying to the universe. I'm going a bit deep now, aren't I? That's my opinion. I understand not everyone's going to agree. And I don't think there are any bad religions. I think they all point to the same thing. It's just a different story, a different whatever. I think the story there's a lot of good quotes that come from religions, a lot of good quotations, a lot of good sayings, a lot of good morals in all of them. There's a lot of good in all of them, in my opinion, but I still think they all point to the same thing. I don't think one's better than the other. I just think it's a guide to help people through the challenges of life, the struggles of life. In relation to religion, I used to go to a very strict school as well. I used to go to a strict Christian Protestant school. They used to make us go to church all the time. They used to drill it into us all the time. But after that, obviously, you form your own opinions. Yorick saying, my view on spirituality is discovering yourself, who you really are deep inside. Absolutely. Finding out who you are. Yes. Sander saying, Shilpa, what does being one with God mean for you? Good question, Sander. Good question. Shilpa saying, in the materialistic world, we are connected with assets. But like we say, life's like a game of Monopoly, isn't it? So you play Monopoly, and you might win, but it all goes back in the box. Everything goes back in the fucking box. So let's say life's like a game of Monopoly. You could have 10 mansions. You could be Elon Musk. And don't get me wrong, materialistic things can be bloody nice. Who doesn't want a Ferrari? Who doesn't want a Bugatti? Who doesn't want a nice mansion? Are they nice things? Of course they are. Nice clothes, nice whatever. They could be deemed to be positive things. But it's all good. When you're gone, it's gone, man. It's going back in the box, man. You don't really own anything, do you? People get too attached to those things sometimes. We're just borrowing. Your body's borrowed. The house is borrowed. You don't really own it. You might own it for now, but it's only borrowed, in my opinion. Even your body's borrowed. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Trying to say, Yorick, it is exactly that. And knowing you are never really alone. Wow, yeah. I don't think we're ever really alone. That's great. Shilpa saying, yes, God is energy, violent flame. I agree, Shilpa. Misty 80 saying, fear is such a debilitator in itself, yeah? Low vibrational fear. We all experience it, of course. That can come out as hate as well. It's a byproduct of fear, potentially, amongst other things. Go back to Misty 80's comment. I'll start again. She's saying, fear is such a debilitator in itself. So I try to just accept this place is a pretty old building that has had many suicides, overdoses, murders, as recently as 2 months ago. Someone was stabbed, etc. Wow, Miss the 80s, that sounds bloody awful. You accept it as it is. You're doing the best you can in that situation. Wow. I hope that you get out of there soon, Miss the 80s. I hope you do. Sounds like a crazy place, by the way. You must be a very strong person by the sounds of it. Sander's saying praying is a form of meditation. I absolutely agree. Sander's then saying, Shilpa, violent flame, what does that mean? Shilpa is then saying, violet flame meditation, I do daily with amethyst crystals. It increases petals in crown chakra. Wow. That sounds amazing, by the way. Sander's then saying, that's beautiful, Shilpa. I'll look into it. I've done chakras open meditations, yeah. Shilpa's then saying, Sander, being one with God means praying and meditating to keep our deeds and physical body, emotional body pure by connecting with God. Yeah. Doing the right thing as well. being a good person, man, doing the right things, but having integrity when true integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching. When no one's watching, doing the right thing as well. Sometimes I meditate sometimes when I'm walking, believe it or not. Switch my mind off. Helps with the food that you intake as well, going back to what Yorick was saying. Sam's asking Miss the 80s where the house is. Shilpa's giving a thumbs up, nice. Sandra says, Shilpa, I agree with you, that's beautiful. Once you start meditating, you don't want to go back. I need to do more of that myself. I do it a little bit with the breathing though. I do my Wim Hof breathing. And I also do a little bit when I've got the cold shower. I like to, also I think as well, like appreciation. Think about things you're appreciating. That's a good, kind of could be linked to meditation as well. Shilpa saying, yeah, we don't go back. No, we don't. We just don't go back. Why would you want to go back? No, thanks. Missy H is saying, I have strong intuition for as long as I can remember. I find has helped to keep spiritual without the corruption and control of religion. Yeah, religion can be very controlling because it's run by egotistical humans, let's say. It's tarnished by humans, let's say. Even if the religion is coming from a good place, people can manipulate it in a negative way. And in short, always try to treat others how I like to be treated. Exactly, that's the way, Miss the 80s. That's beautiful, thank you. And Sandra agrees that it's beautiful as well. So I'm going to explain my views on spirituality. I think I've kind of explained some of it already. I'm just going to have a sip of water. 1 second. One moment. Yeah, like I think I've already explained some of them, but I'll go through them the best I can. I think my views on spirituality is like, I think, again, all religions point to the same thing. I've already said that. They all point to source. What are my other views as well? One moment, sorry. I believe we're here for a reason. I believe we're here for growth. I believe this world is a hard school. It's not easy. I think if you don't learn the lessons keep coming back. So if you don't learn the lessons, they keep coming back, don't they? And you could be in a totally different place. You could be, say, if you've not learned the lessons in one town and you move to another town miles away, those same lessons will come back. I believe that, like I've already said, I believe that we're souls in bodies. I think that I do believe in reincarnation. I believe there's another side. I think that they're always, our spirit guides and things are always with us. They're always helping us. They're always guiding us. It gives me hope. It's positive. I believe there's another side. I do. I think it's a lot lighter on the other side as well. A lot easier. I think that the earth is a hard school. Fucking hard. Yeah, that's my opinion. And I believe there's more of an awakening occurring. I think it's happening as we speak, even though the world seems very chaotic at the moment. And it seems like it's getting worse in a way. It really does. Feels like the ugly behaviours of others, of people and organisations and countries or whatever, feels like it's getting worse sometimes. But I think there's an awakening occurring, like a new earth kind of thinking. And what's a new earth going to look like? I don't know everything about it, but I think you're still here, but it's just the new earth is just a different level of consciousness. So again, like I said before, you don't want to be linked into those lower level frequencies of hate and despair. You want to be more enlightened. You're neutral to these things. You're lighter, you feel lighter. And achieving that could be done via food as well, via fasting, via eating cleaner foods, healthier foods, less inflammation, etc., etc. That's what can help you get to a higher level of consciousness, lighter. I'm not saying one's better than the other, by the way, because I don't want to sound arrogant. That's just my little views on spirituality. I've always been drawn to these things. Always been drawn to these things. And I always will be. I believe that, sorry, I'm going on, talking a lot about myself here. I'll go back to the comments in a minute. I don't want to make it all about me. I'm trying to not make it all about myself, sorry. I believe that I could do more, but I've chosen not to so far. I could do a lot more with regards to that spiritual kind of thing. But I don't feel like I'm ready yet, if I'm completely honest. I've got a lot. I don't know. Sorry. I believe I'm here for a reason. I've got a mission in life, and it's to inspire and help others. That's what I'm here for. I think I'm doing that anyway, in my own way, my own imperfect way, let's say. Anyway, let's go back to the comments. One moment, I'm just catching up. What is everyone else's views on spirituality? I think some of you have already started that. By the way, I don't always talk about this topic, and I won't always talk about this topic. I like to talk about other things as well, but it's just what I've got for today. And sometimes my lives are chilled. I don't even talk about anything deep at all. I don't always talk about deep things as well, because I think it can be too much sometimes. Today, this is very deep. But last night I did a live, and it was chilled as hell. I was just going with comments. I was asking silly questions, because I don't think you can always be working on yourself all the time. I think it's good to chill as well sometimes. Personal development, self-improvement are very important, and they're great things to aspire to, but you can't be on the go all the time. Well, I don't think so anyway. Shilpa, they then saying, by doing meditation, reread scriptures like Bible with Psalms, which is a source of inspiration to keep up with prayers. Yes, of course it can be. Of course, a lot of wisdom in that as well. I like Stoicism as well. A lot of wisdom in Stoicism. They even knew back then all the wisdoms, and it's kind of been lost, hasn't it, in recent times by a lot of society. Miss the Eights is saying, oh, Sander, in Canada, the whole country is a mess at the minute. Wow, sorry to hear that, Miss the 80s. Guess what? England's the same. Germany's similar. France is similar. The USA is similar. It's turbulent times indeed. It's not. I'm sorry about the troubles in Canada. I don't understand them completely because I don't live there. You'll know much better than I do. It's turbulent times here as well in the UK, trust me. Probably different issues, maybe. Anyway, let's carry on. Used to travel all over the US and Canada both, although circumstances have kind of got me stuck up here for the past little while. So you're going through a challenging time in the 80s. I hope that you get through this. It sounds like you've got the wisdom and the strength to get through it. It sounds like you're doing the best you can in the situation that you're in. I don't know your full story, but I pray and hope that you come through the other end. And I think you are going to come through the other end. Well, I hope at least. I'm trying to send some words of encouragement there for you. I'm sorry you're going through whatever you're going through. It doesn't sound easy. Sander's praying for Shilpa. Sander then says, wow, Miss the 80s, what's going on with Canada? It's everywhere, sadly. Yes, turbulent times indeed. Turbulent times indeed. Sander's saying, after the storm comes a rainbow, Brad. Yeah. Sometimes things need to fall apart before they can be reborn again. Sometimes you're going to hit rock bottom before you can go up again. Yorick's saying, I'm Aquarius. I believe when Age of Aquarius starts, we'll working. Absolutely, Yorick. I think it's kind of started. It's starting now. I think it's starting. Age of Aquarius. That's going to be over quite a long time. I've thought about that before. And that's like Age of Aquarius, more of adventurous type of spirit, isn't it? More of a free-spirited type of way, basically. You were born on the 30th of January. Yorick is saying. Santa's saying a bit of that. It's very cool. I think things might get a bit messy first, though, Yorick. I think they already are before that happens. I suppose this world that we're living in, this materialistic world, can it be? It's not sustainable, is it? Santa's saying, I love that musical Her, Yorick, all about the Age of Aquarius. I'm awakening. Josh is saying 88. Hi, Josh. What do you mean by you were born in 1988? What do you mean by that, Josh? Good to have you with us, by the way, Josh. My name's Brad, by the way. Claire. Hello to Claire. You're saying, I understand how you feel. I also think the life we live is not physical. There are things we cannot control. I see. Absolutely agree with you, Claire. There's so much shit that we can't see that's going on around us, different frequencies that we're not attuned to. Dogs and cats can be more attuned to these things, can't they? Because they have They have heightened senses compared to humans naturally. I completely agree with Claire. There's so much I don't understand. Oh my God. And anyone that I think that anyone that believes that they know more, some people say they know more than they actually know as well. I think there's a lot we don't understand. There's so much we don't understand. It's incomprehensible. I've not even said that properly, sorry. But it gives me hope, man. It gives me hope. It really does. And it can take away the fear of death, all these types of beliefs as well. I'm not scared of dying. I think there's another side. So it's all good kind of thinking. Gives you hope, especially in these turbulent times. Like Miss the 80s saying, Canada's struggling. England's struggling, man. USA's struggling. There's a lot of other things going on at the moment as well. So you need things like this sometimes to give you hope, to give you clarity, to keep you going, to give you some inspiration, let's say, etc., etc. Anyway, Sanders saying hi to Clay. And yes, that's profound. I agree. Yorick's asking what sign you are. Sanders saying Taurus, she said, right. Yorick remembers. Sandy's saying that's the musical about the fifth dimension, Brad. Wow. I need to watch that. I didn't know Her. I haven't got any Her, obviously. The musical Her, I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it. I think it's in the 70s or something like that. Claire's saying, but it sounds interesting that, by the way, going back to Sander, it sounds interesting. I didn't know it was about that, though. Interesting. Claire's saying we aren't perfect. Yes, we're not. If we lose track, just get back. Yeah, get back on track. Drop the ball, pick it back up again, keep going. Sanders saying, yes, I'm a Taurus. Thanks for remembering. Josh is saying, tinfoil hat, brother. So you don't believe in all this, Josh, which is absolutely fine. It could be. Could you be right? You could be. You could be. You never know. I could be talking absolute rubbish. I don't believe I am, but that's your opinion, which I respect, of course. So, Josh, what do you believe in then? What are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think it's just we're here, we die, that's it? That's it. Is that what you believe? And there's nothing wrong with believing that, by the way. I don't want to force my opinion on other people either. I'm not going to be that person. I don't think that's fair. Everyone's got their own opinion and their own perception. Anyway, Sanders then saying, Claire, I'm losing track lately, but I'm slowly coming back. Burnout and idiots bring me down. Yes, they will. But I always try and find my way. Absolutely, Sander. It's not easy, this. It's not easy coming away from that. The magic is, when you know you've got it, is when you're seeing all these behaviours happen and you're not even bothered by it anymore. You're not even pissed off. Your ego's not bothered. You just see it from silly childish games for what it is, and you're just neutral to it. That's when you've becoming to it. In my opinion, that's like a higher level of consciousness, away from the 3D type of frequencies. Sanders then saying, Josh, question mark. Claire is then saying, Andy B, wishing you a great comeback. You've got this. Sander B, sorry. He's saying, Sander B, wishing you a great comeback. You got this. No, Claire, that's really, really kind of you. That's lovely. Respect. Sander's then saying, Yorick, you're in London. Have you heard of the 13th of September event? Yeah, there's going to be a big event, isn't there, in England? A big march. I think the English people are getting tired with regards to immigration. And there's a lot more to this than that I'm saying, but what's happening is the taxes are going up. Everything's getting more expensive. Living conditions are getting harder. It's getting harder, trust me. And then you've got people coming in from other countries, immigrants. Some of them will be like desperate, genuine people. And some of them are just looking for a better life. Do I blame them personally? No. However, there's only so many resources, etc., etc. And what's happening is they're being put up in hotels, they're being paid for. They're getting a lot of money, a lot of funding for food, for accommodation, even getting phones. And then not all of these people, some of these people will be nice. Let's try and be fair here. But some of them are committing crimes, rapes, etc., etc. And I think the English people have had enough. and there's going to be a march on the 13th. And what you're seeing everywhere, I've never seen this before, I'm seeing flags everywhere. And I live up north, I live near Manchester. This is happening all over the UK. There's flags going up everywhere. So I think there's a fire being ignited there potentially. I just hope that it's peaceful and respectful, and there's a positive resolution at the end of it. There's a lot more to what I've just said as well. A lot more perspectives on what I've just said as well. But that's just the very narrow part of what's occurring on the 13th, and it's in London, isn't it? It's going to be a big event. It's going to be hundreds of thousands of people, maybe 1 million people turning up to this event in London. It could be historic as well. Yorick, you're going to be in London as well, so you're going to see it much more than I am up here. Josh is saying Sagittarius 1988, so right, okay, you're born in 1988 then, Josh, and you're Sagittarius, cool. Sanders then saying, Claire, thank you so much, I appreciate that, lovely. Yorick's not aware of the events. There's going to be some protests on the 13th of September, Yorick, and it's going to be in London. On your doorstep, mate. It's coming. They probably don't advertise it on the news so much. Yorick saying, think it's to stand against racism and fascism. Josh was saying, I was taking the piss, bro. No worries, man, Josh. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. I can see why people think that might be crazy, though. I get it. It's different what I'm talking about. Sandra's saying, oh, okay, I thought it was more about important topics like this mess of a country we currently live in. It's more about the mess of the country that they might be advertising it about something else, but it's not. It's about the fucking mess that England's in. It's a mess. It's collapsing. It's breaking down. It cannot be sustained as it is. It just can't. It really can't. And people have had enough. Do you agree with these people or do you not agree with these people? That's a different topic. Josh is asking a question. Do you believe it's better to get buried or cremated when you pass on? I don't think it matters, man. My opinion, whatever. I think what happens? Your body gets cremated, so you just turn to ash. If you get cremated, if you get cremated, you're just getting burned. I don't think it matters. I think if you get buried, you're not your body anyway. Your spirit's gone. Your body's borrowed. Your body goes back to the earth either way. You're getting eaten by maggots, mate. If you're getting buried, aren't you? Your body's gone. It's game over. End game for your body. But I think the spirit moves on, mate. I really, really do. The spirit moves on. Spirit goes to the other side, or maybe it gets stuck here. Hence, ghost. The theory of ghost. Maybe the ghost, or they've not moved on. Their ego's still tied, and they get stuck in limbo. Maybe. That's my theory on it. Anyway, I don't think it matters if you get buried or cremated. My opinion. What does everyone else think? Sanders then saying, Josh, great question. I haven't thought about this. Do you have any views on it? Yeah. Temporary autonomous zones. Can you remote view? Good to have you with us, temporary autonomous zones. What did you mean, can you remote view? What does that mean? Sorry about the noise in the background. I don't know what you mean by that. Explain. Does that mean like walk around and talk, basically? I haven't tried one of those videos yet. Maybe I'll do that in the near future. I'm just going to have a sip of water, guys. I'm having a little rest. Right, another question. Let's see what other people think about this. One moment, guys. I'm just typing a question. Do you see spirituality separate? One moment. Do you see spirituality separate from religion or overlapping? I'm just typing in now. Let's see if it'll let me type all this in. Overlapping. There we go. Do you see spirituality separate from religion or overlapping? Josh says both. I agree, Josh. Sorry if there's any noise in the background. It's the boiler kicking in. I think they're overlapping. I think they all, like I've already said, I think they point to the same source. I think they point to the same thing. That's my thoughts on that, by the way. And God, how many? I won't go into too much detail. Sandra's saying definitely both. Think of how many people have died just because of religion, because of belief. Like, my God's the best God. That's the only one true God. Yada, yada, yada. And then anyone who doesn't believe in my God, they're all bastards and arseholes, and they're all going to hell. If you don't believe in my religion, then you're going to hell. And that's it. Eternal hell. Thinking, oh, that's nice, isn't it? If you don't believe in my God, if you don't believe in this book, then you're a piece of shit, basically. That's what some religions say. Like, if you don't believe in this God, then you're a piece of shit. All right, that's very nice of you. Thinking to myself, that's not very good, is it? That's the ego kicking in. It's humans kicking in with their egos with regards to religion, isn't it? A lot of people might not agree with that one. And I don't think there's one religion is not better than the other. It's just a story told to help people, to guide people. All points to the same source, man. That's my opinion anyway. Living like living, all that. I think if I was going to choose a religion, it'd be Buddhism. Buddhism. If I was going to choose one, not that I choose any, by the way. I believe in spirituality, etc., but I don't believe in any religions. I like some of what they say, though. Of course. Josh is saying the UK is finished, bro. I think it is, man. It's sad, to be honest. Yeah, it's sad. It's too far gone for a lot of reasons I won't get into. Coming from Kiwi, coming from New Zealand. Josh, I agree with you. It's fucking cooked. It's cooked. The UK, I'm changing subjects a little bit, going what Josh is saying. Yeah, it is. I think what's happened as well is, I think what's happened is, what was I going to say then? I think what's happened is a lot of people got lazy. So the people not working, people living on state handouts. So people got lazy in England. They just wanted everything for free. They're not working, they're not producing, not doing anything. And then they had to get these jobs needed doing, like fruit picking or working in factories or whatever job. And a lot of the English people were saying these jobs are beneath me. I'm not doing those types of jobs. So they got people from abroad to do the work and they were willing to do it. And that was part of the problem as well. And it's lost its way. And a lot of people have got really unhealthy. They're eating too much bad food. They're really unhealthy. Not living good lives. A lot of health problems, a lot of mental health problems, which have been kind of built up from having a lazy life, undisciplined life. So yeah, I think that's what's happened. So is it done? I think it's too far gone. I do think it's too far gone. I think it's too many problems. Anyway, I agree with you, Josh. Sorry, Claire, you've retracted your comment. That's fine. No worries. Luke. Hi, Luke. How are you, Luke? I hope you're okay. Good to have you with us again. Temporary autonomous zones. Saying remote viewing is a practice of attempting to perceive information about a distant or unseen subjects using the mind. Very deep there. Often described as a form of extrasensory perception, ESP. Wow, that sounds very deep, man. I've never tried that one. That sounds very interesting, though. Thank you for sharing that, by the way, temporary autonomous zones. Sorry, just having a little rest. Luke's saying I'm good. I'm in the car on my way home. Cool. So you finish your holidays at your grandparents then? I'll just be back in one moment. Sorry, guys, back in a moment. Sorry about that, guys. Back to what I was saying. Sorry I had to leave then. Apologise for that. Right, let's carry on. So do you see spirituality separate from religion and overlapping? I've kind of covered that. I'm going to move on. Santa's saying hello to Luke, saying he's good, going home. I'm just going quiet for a moment, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to talk as much as I can. I'm doing this in a freestyling type of manner, doing it the best I can, trying to create content that actually has some meaning to it. What do I talk about next? Let's see. Give me a moment. Let's ask another question. Has your perception changed over time? Is the next question. In relation to spirituality, let's say. Let me just type this in. So has your perception changed over time in relation to spirituality? Has your views changed over time? Mine certainly has. Saeed, good to have you with us, Saeed. You're saying it exists because if you have good things in the world, so is the bad things too, like the yin and yang kind of thing. You're saying you don't think it has. You don't think your perception's changed. I think mine has. I used to go to a religious school, man. I used to go to Christian school, Protestant school. They used to drill it into us all the time. And some of those things were positive, don't get me wrong. And also I've also had, at one point I was an atheist. I thought, oh, I don't believe in anything. It's all rubbish. I didn't trust anything at one point. I just thought, nah, it's all a load of rubbish. This is silly. I completely blocked it all off at one point in my life. So I went to being, let's say, Christian, because that was kind of put upon me to believe in those things. Then I just tried to look at it logically, like a realistic view, like a scientific kind of view of things, factual view. And then I thought, I don't believe in anything. I believed it was like that for a few years, I think. And then I had a lot of experiences, man, that really opened my eyes, seeing spirits, seeing ghosts, sensing things, etc. And I thought, do you know what? Wow, this is profound. And then that for me is enough to believe in it now, you know, to believe in spirituality, to believe in the other side, to believe that we're here for a reason, that we are basically energy. So there you go. Yeah, Saeed, good to have you with us, Saeed, by the way. You're saying both bad things and good things happen with me. Yeah, the good and bad. It's easy to give the perception, it's easy to give the perception until you've experienced it in real. Yeah, of course. If you've actually genuinely, what do you mean by that? Can you go into more detail on that, Saeed, if you want to? No pressure, by the way. Sounds interesting with regards to what you're saying. I'm going to go a little bit quieter now. I've done a lot of speaking. I'm slowing down a little bit. Of course, if there's any comments or anything, I'll go and I'll read them out, and then I'll try to interpret them the best I can. I'm just going to leave that question up there for a while. Just a big thank you to anyone that subscribed, by the way. If anyone doesn't know my name, sorry if you've heard it loads of times. My name is Brad. My channel is called the Inspirational Ambivert Channel. This is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. This is episode 30. Today I've spoke about my experiences with ghosts and my opinions about spirituality, etc. A lot of the content that I create is about self-improvement, really. Self-improvement, working on yourself, narcissism, toxic people, manhood, what it's like being a man, especially in today's age. It can be very tricky, that one. Stoicism, etc., etc. That's the type of things I speak about. Today I'm speaking about spirituality, which is a little bit different to what I usually speak about. And some of the live vlogs I do as well are just chilled. This is more of a deeper one, of course, but sometimes I just talk about chilled things, really. Which I might be changing topics soon, because I'm running out of things to say with this, if I'm honest. But my opinion as well is, I'll crack on anyway. Believing ghosts, for example, it's just like it reflects our deeper spiritual questions like life after death. Gives you a bit of hope, like I've said, unseen energies, goosebumps. If anyone experienced goosebumps before, and high levels of consciousness. I'm going to change this one moment. Saeed saying, I've experienced the paranormal thing. Interesting, Saeed. Like when I was 14 years old, my family went to the rent house where a man killed himself. Wow, Saeed, that sounds brutal. And it was the kind of darkness in that home, but the owners didn't tell us anything. Wow, did you sense the energy there? About that incident that happened in that home? Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. Like a dark, sad energy, that, innit? Yeah. And I think potentially people like that do that type of thing cannot move on. They can't go to the other side. They might not, they just get stuck. Hence ghosts, hence energies. Then Saeed's then saying, then when we were in that house, I experienced that I can explain. Sorry, 1 second, Saeed, I'm just interpreting what you're saying. Then when we were in that house, I experienced that I can explain the whole thing here. Sorry, go on, Saeed, carry on. And then SW fan. Sheffield Wednesday fan, is it? Are you Winchester's friend? Question mark. Hello, SW fan. What do you mean by Winchester's friend? I don't know what that means. Elaborate if you can. Saeed's then saying, during night time within a month, we changed the home. I bet you did. Yeah, I bet you did. Sounds very dark, that as well, doesn't it, Saeed? Of course. I can understand why you've moved home after that. Definitely. But again, I think it gives me hope. If there's ghosts and stuff, it just gives me hope that there's something else, man. Let's keep it simple. Anyway, one moment. Has anyone experienced, last question with relation to this, then I might go to lighter topics. Has anyone experienced goosebumps before? That's how I'd explain it. the word I'm going to use for it. Has anyone ever experienced goosebumps before? And what are goosebumps? It's like a tingly feel, like oh, it's weird, man. It's like you sense something's there. Like a tingly kind of feeling on your head sometimes, or you feel it on your neck, like a cold, tingling type of sensation. And it's just different to anything I've ever experienced. And it just happens randomly to me sometimes. Happens randomly. And it's usually, I think I sense something then. That's my sensory going, I sense something's there then, basically. Has anyone ever experienced goosebumps before is a question. Of course, people could think I'm weird for talking about these things. They could think I'm strange because it goes against logic, doesn't it? Talking about ghosts and spirituality can also go against what we see in this three-dimensional world. We don't see it a lot of the time. We're not going to see these things with our eyes, are we? We're not going to smell these things. We're not going to hear these things. Another thing, though, imagine this, though. We've got spirituality, right? Do you ever know when someone's looking at you? Do you ever know when someone's looking at you? Can you sense when someone's staring at you? Because I can. I can sense when someone's staring at me. And I can't see them because I'm not looking at them directly. I can't hear them because they're only staring at me. I can't smell them staring at me. I can't feel them. You know, the five senses can't pick up if someone's staring at you from a distance. It can't. But you can feel it, can't you? So that's another one. That's another interesting one, in my opinion. Sixth sense, basically, which I'm going into. Goisey Family says hi. Hello, I'm Goisey Family. Good to have you with us. My name's Brad, by the way. The question is, has anyone experienced goosebumps before? Have you ever picked up on something, sensation, like something's there, like a spirit's there or whatever? SW fan, did you watch Supernatural? I've watched a few of the episodes a long time ago, SW fan. I found some episodes quite good, actually, entertaining. I've not watched it for a long, long time, and I didn't watch all of the episodes. But it's interesting. And I know these kind of things could be scary for some people. I think, right, get your SW Tham. Get you now. Get you, yeah. That's what I meant by Winchester Brothers. I get you. Hi, Dawn. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I hope you're okay. Can't believe I forgot about this. It's all right, Dawn. Don't worry. I've covered a lot of it already. It's okay. Sometimes you need... have you had a nice lie-in is the question, or have you been busy? Got things to do, of course. Dawn, I've just been talking about ghosts and things like that. My experiences with ghosts, my views on spirituality, that we're all energy and we're all connected. All religions point to the same thing, in my opinion, to source. You've been cleaning, you've been busy. That's okay. I'm just having a little bit of a rest now, Dawn, if I'm honest. I've been speaking for quite a while. Just going with the comments now. It was a good series, though, that SW fan. I know what you mean now by Winchester Brothers. Dawn saying, yeah, I agree with that. There's a higher power. And some people manifest, some call it prayer, etc. Yes, I do. I do too. I get it still now. I can close my eyes. I'll be in bed. Especially if I meditate a bit, I'll get like, you know, like imagine a faces. I get faces in front of my vision, but with my eyes closed, and it's like a smoke colour, like a grey colour, but like a face that can appear. And sometimes what can happen as well, when I go into dark REM sleep, like I start to sleep a little bit, I'll just get a random person come in front of me, staring at me sometimes. Obviously, people could think that's related to dreams, etc., but I believe that it's something else. And I also get like a tingly goosebump feeling as well. I turn this off though. I don't go any deeper into it because I don't want to go down. Don't know why. I'm not ready for it. But it's always been there within me, basically, having those, having the sensitivity and that sensory ability to pick up on these things. I think we all have this ability with the third eye, etc. But you've got to, I think you've got to do a lot of work and discipline to open that up properly, which I haven't done, if I'm honest. I've done a bit of it at one point, and my third eye's open a little bit as well, but I don't go deeper into it because I just feel like I've got so much to, I do other things in my life. I choose to do other things in my life, let's say. Dawn's asking, I do wonder if only enlightened people get answers. Do narcissists and other dark triads get this as well? Maybe. I don't know. Good question. Interesting question. If you believe in other things as well. Dawn saying, my gran died when I was 5. Oh, I'm sorry. And my mum found me chatting in my room when I said I was talking to Granny. Oh, wow. That's amazing, Dawn. I think children are more open to it. I used to see things when I was really young as well. I was very, I think children are more closest to the source because children are closest to source because they've just come from source, if you're going down that line of thinking. They're more pure. Children are more pure. And I think we get tainted as time goes on, don't we? We get conditioned away from that as we get older. So you're more open to that. I think that's a really nice story, by the way, Dawn. Sorry, guys, I'm just having a little rest from speaking. I'm just chilling a little bit here. See where the comments go. Going with the flow a little bit. Dawn's insane. I also had a cool experience with my pony. Wanted to tell her owner she didn't want to break the fence and upset her. The full story is pretty cool, but there's not enough space in the chart. What was it, like a pony that passed away is the question. But she didn't want to break the fence and upset her. Has anyone, this sounds mad as well. God, this might sound mad. I used to say at one point, Nicola Berger, good to have you with us, Nicole. Good to have you with us. Hi. My name's Brad, by the way. I remember, have you ever had experience with shadow people? I remember at one point I used to wake up and they'd be like, oh my God, man, it sounds crazy. It doesn't happen anymore, but they'd be like really tall, black figures, like imagine a long dark cloak. They'd have a big hat on. And they used to be in my room at one point. There used to be loads of them in my room at one point. And it was happening for quite often. It used to happen quite often. I've had a lot of experiences, basically. A lot of experiences. I choose to turn it off. Did a lot of meditation. I've already spoke about this before, but I had a lot of I used to do a lot of meditation at one point, like self-hypnosis I was doing to an extent. I was going really deep into it. And then it opened up a big door, really. It must have been all like 24, 25. And I'd get loads of spirits in the room. Loads at one point. Honestly, I'd close my eyes and they'd be like floating around. I'd turn to the right. There'd be a woman like led next to me. Turn to the right. There'd be some other spirits there. They're all staring at me. I could feel my goosebumps kicking in as well. There was so much going on at once. I was thinking, oh shit, what have I done? I've opened up something. Luckily, I've got a strong mind. I wasn't scared of these things. Yeah, basically. I've even experienced things when I was doing my videos early on. I used to do my videos on the PC. with a webcam on the PC because I couldn't use my phone then because I didn't have enough subscribers. You need to have 50 subscribers to use your phone, so I used to use my PC, and I used to send things then as well. I've seen so many things, man, honest to God, that it just makes me believe in it all. I know there's something else. I just know there's something else. I've actually seen one as well, an apparition of someone like a ghost, like a woman just float past me like that. See it in the middle of the day. It was in my mum and dad's house. I was laid down on the couch and it just walked through like that, just moved through like that. I know that might sound crazy to some people, but that's my experiences, that's all. Dawn's saying she wasn't mine. She used to follow me every day, making cute nickering sounds and squeaking. So I took a video and sent it to her owner, thinking she would have been familiar with this behaviour, but she went, what the hell? I've never seen her do that to her. So, sorry, 1 second. Sorry, Dawn. I'm trying to interpret what you're saying. She wasn't mine. She used to follow me every day, making cute nickering sounds and squeaking. So I took a video and sent it to her owner, thinking she would have been familiar with this behaviour. But she went, what the hell? I've never seen her do that. So a friend convinced me to sit and clean my mind to see if anything came to me. Wow. So is it like the spirit of the pony, basically, that was just coming to you? That's what I'm trying to interpret with that, Dawn. Explain more if I'm missing anything, by the way, because I can only go with what you're saying so far. Dawn's then saying, I got an image of her apologising via gesture and asked her owner about it, and she had broken the fence and she was really upset. So this was the pony apology. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like sending a message saying, I'm sorry for doing that. That's really nice. That's lovely. The pony was still alive at the time, but passed shortly afterwards. So it's her way of saying, oh, I'm really sorry before going. Wow. I remember when God, this sounds dark, but anyway, I remember when my friend killed himself. My old friend killed himself. He hung himself. Sorry, it sounds really sad. That was in 2018. It was February. And the night before he died, I seen him in my, let's say, dream mind's eye, walking across a bridge. He was walking across a bridge, right? And I walked past him on the bridge and I turned around and like said goodbye. And then the day after he fucking died. And honest to God, the day after, that night he died actually. That night he died. I didn't know at the time. And it was under a bridge as well where he passed. That sounds crazy. I've never told many people that. Yeah, mad. And God, I'm going in deeper now. And I remember once, and before that, I was thinking, oh, I need to help him. I need to help him. I was in my head a few days before, I was thinking, I need to help him. I hadn't seen him for a while because he was doing things that weren't healthy. I hadn't seen him for a while, and I was in a different place myself. And in my head, I was thinking, I need to help him. And then I didn't act on it. I didn't act on it. And then about a week later, he passed away. He hung himself. Sorry, but I didn't know all of this at the time. Yeah. So Dawn saying, yeah, it gives me chills. It gives you hope. It gives me hope as well, though, Dawn. I think it's really nice. So Dawn saying, sorry to hear that, Brad. It's all right. I was so intrigued, but I didn't trust my intuition completely. I think my intuition was telling me to help him before it happened, but I didn't act on it. But it was a bit messy. It was a bit, my life was in order at that time. And I didn't want to go back to that world, like I used to say, secession and stuff, because he was still doing that kind of thing. And I didn't want to get anywhere near it. That's what put me off going anywhere near it, by the way. I was a student nurse at the time. I had a lot, I don't know, just being selfish, I suppose. You knew the exact moment your granddad passed. Yep. A lot of people say that kind of thing, don't they? They get a feeling. Yorick saying, I got goosebumps going into check rooms alone at night, my hotel rooms, just that feeling you're not alone, playing in your mind at 4 in the morning. Oh, fucking absolutely, Yorick. I know that one. Maybe also because I watched scary videos the shift night before. That's not going to help either. Like like I've said before, I get changed in no part of the hospital. And sometimes I'm on my own and it's late because I do long days. It's like 8 at night, 9 at night, and I'm getting changed and I sense something there. I don't allow it to scare me though. I just think, here you are again. I can sense it tingles on my head, my face. I can feel it. Honestly. Anyway. Dawn saying, my partner had dreams of a voice saying phone of the day before his aunt died. Wow. I do believe in it all. It gives me hope. It gives me hope about the troubles of life, let's say. Dawn saying, my best friend who is a scrub nurse like you is very spooky. She regularly passes on random messages. What do you mean by that? Passes on random messages from the other side, do you mean? Cleopatra the Great. Good to have you with us, Cleopatra. I would want to say everyone who read that book has experienced goosebumps. So yes, I could not get past the first book of that novel written. What Goosebumps, the children's novels you're on about, Cleopatra? Forgive me if I'm wrong. Explain. Explain if you can, should I say. You are what you read. Books can influence your thinking, Cleopatra. Absolutely. I think you're more than just what you read, though. More than just what you read. And I also, well, ask you a question again, please. In relation to Goosebumps, what do you mean by that? Sorry, are you meaning Goosebumps? There's a children's horror book called Goosebumps, isn't there? Is that what you mean with the first thing that you mentioned? Cleopatra's then saying this is true. Dawn's then saying, yeah, she told me to be careful because a horse that is usually very placid is going to kick out and just miss my head. Oh, I want like a horse kick. They're so powerful, man. Oh, they could kill you, couldn't they? But they're so powerful. I'd never get behind a horse. No way, man. That scares me. That scares me, by the way, Dawn. And sure enough, days after later, my friend's old pond just missed my head. Oh, fuck. That could have killed you, Dawn. That could have killed you. Cleopatra saying, what you read is burned alive in your world. Born alive in your world. Sorry, Cleopatra, what do you mean? Elaborate a little bit more if you can, if you don't mind. You don't have to, by the way. Just trying to understand what you're saying a little bit more, that's all. God, that must be scary, Dawn. Dawn saying she was also stuck in traffic and said it's an old man. He ran into the road to save his dog and got run over, and she was absolutely spot on. Wow. Wow. Psychic, basically. Cleopatra saying it consumes your whole being. Don't mind. What consumes your own being? Is it the book that consumes your own being? The way of thinking that consumes your own being? I don't know what you mean, Cleopatra. Sorry. Explain more if you can. You don't have to, by the way. I'm not trying not to put any pressure on you. This is why I've always read true stories. So you don't believe in ghosts then? Which is absolutely fine, by the way. Not everyone believes in them, and I don't expect everyone to believe in them. I don't want to force my opinion on others either. Don't say I've been kicked, bitten, flung, and stood on so many times. Yeah. Yeah, well, you're going to do, aren't you? If you're going to be working with horses all the time. Oh, God, I bet the kicks aren't nice. None of it sounds nice. Flung, kicked, oh, God. I've got a colleague that got kicked in the chest. I think she got kicked in the chest or something like that. She got kicked in the head, but it wasn't. Luckily, she's all right. But she was off work for a while. Cleopatra's then saying, basically, what you spend your time on consumes you as an individual. It manifests into your world individually. I suppose what you put your time and energy into, what you create, can manifest. Law of attraction kind of thing. Universal truths, maybe. That's what I'm interpreting that from. No matter what, if you read it in a group setting or not, is what Cleopatra is saying. It can consume you as an individual, Cleopatra, if you're looking into something too much, if you're all in and that's all you believe in and you're very emotionally attached to that, whatever that thing is, that can therefore manifest even bigger. Imagine if you're just thinking about negativity all the time and hate all the time, it's going to consume you, potentially, is what I'm trying to understand what you're saying. It can manifest into your life as well, potentially, but only if you allow it, I think. If you're mindful of it, you can control that to an extent. Depends how deep you go into it, but it could potentially happen though. Cleopatra saying, no matter if you read it in a group setting or not. Dawn saying, my horse stepped back to get a bum scratch and broke my foot. Oh, all right. So it just stepped back, not expecting you. So, oh, I bet that hurt. Yeah, broke your foot as well. Did you have to have an operation? Cleopatra is saying, yes, correct, Amondo. Dawn then says horse, relation to horse, obviously. Cleopatra then says, well, if you read fiction, it will manifest. All right, so you don't believe in all that kind of thing. I do believe in it. That's my opinion. But if you don't, that's fine. I get what you're saying. You could say that spiritual world is fiction. You could say that religious books are fiction, couldn't you? Going a bit controversial there. You prefer the true stories, you prefer facts. A lot of people do. Cleopatra, a lot of people see the things that way as well. They're not attuned to those type of things. They don't believe in those types of things. And that's absolutely fine as well. Absolutely fine. I understand why. I've had that train of thought at one point in my life as well. I really did. I really thought I didn't believe in anything at one point. I went through a phase of that. If you don't pay attention to it, yeah. If you go down a certain way, if you're not open to certain things, then they're not going to be a part of your perception of things. Which is what I think Cleopatra is trying to make a point of. Dawn's saying, I have times where I get almost instant manifestations. I'm on a roll, then I'll lose it for ages. Yeah. Do you know what as well, Dawn? Everything I put my mind to, every single time, once I'm all in, of course, I've always achieved it. Every single one. I'm not saying I've achieved like magical things or anything like that. But if I think, oh, I'm going to do that, I'm going to live there, I'm going to make this, I always make things happen. But it takes time and a lot of energy. But you can manifest things, hitting home runs. You're on a roll, basically, yeah. Not everything else works out perfectly, though. Sometimes I think, oh, shit, it's not. It takes time for me personally. Alf X, good to have you with us. Are you speaking English? Yes, I am speaking English, Alf X. This is English. Well, it's my version of English with my accent, of course. My name's Brad, by the way. Dawn saying, yeah, when you look back, you realise you've got everything you wanted. Yeah. Sometimes you can manifest things you don't want as well, can't you? I suppose everyone's done that to an extent. Unconsciously sometimes as well, isn't it? Cleopatra's saying the mind is very powerful. Absolutely, Cleopatra, I agree with that. It depends on what you think and how to use what you know. Like getting goosebumps in the cold. Can you shift your mind into believing you are warm? You could do. I think there's truth in that, where you can actually make yourself warmer by just thought, through thought. You can. I believe that. I'm just having a little rest, guys. I don't always speak. I keep saying this. I'm not naturally always speak all the time, but here I've got to keep it up, haven't I? Obviously. Don't saying yeah, like those people who can tune out pain and walk on hot coals, etc. Yeah. The mind's very powerful, really powerful. Absolutely, and I think you can manifest things in a really you can create anything you want. It takes time though. You've got to truly believe it though, and you also I think you've got to back it up with action, especially if you're going for a big goal. You've got to back it up with action, and then the universe goes, okay, you're being serious about this. How do you really want this? And it might send you some adversity your way, might put some obstacles in your way, and those obstacles might mean that you have to start all again. It might mean that you have to change direction. These obstacles might just slow you down because obstacles do happen in life, and then you've just got to just keep going and going and going. And that's the mind manifesting it. It's like the mind going, that's mine. I'm having that. I'm achieving that. I'm going to fucking do that. I'm going to keep going, no matter, even if no one's watching, no matter if no one thinks it's possible, no wonder if people think it's actually crazy. I'm still going to do it. That's the mind manifesting what it wants to manifest, of course. Don't say it's a shame we can't all chat together like in a Zoom. Yeah. Help me out, that dog. It would. And Cleopatra's then saying, this is why some do not like to read, as they may be afraid or just don't have the time to manifest it in their lives. No. I think reading's amazing. It really, really is. And without reading, I wouldn't be the person I am right now. I wouldn't. My dad used to say to me, you need to read, Brad. You need to read. And I was in my teenage years and I go, oh, shut up. I'm not fucking reading. I used to say, because I was young and ignorant, of course, and stupid. And I used to go, no, I'm not reading. I can't be asked for that. That's stupid, that. I'm not reading. Why do I want to read? And eventually I did start to read. And obviously it's got me to where I am. It helped me to work on myself, helped me to come away from taking drugs. It helped me to become compass mentis, to know myself. I think reading's great. Obviously reading the right stuff though, isn't it? It depends on what you want to read, but knowledge is power and all that, basically. So Cleopatra saying this is no joke. This is how I was able to survive in the coldest of waters. Yeah, through the power of the mind. Yorick, I don't want to add any more moderators, Yorick, sorry. Thanks anyway, Yorick. I don't want to add no disrespect to anybody. I don't want to add any more. I think I've got enough, Yorick. Thank you anyway, though. Your blood is thicker than the water inside you. But thanks anyway, Yorick. Sorry, yeah, I think I don't want to add any more. I think I've got enough. I think I've got like 4. I've got Sander, I've got you, Yorick, I've got Glassy, and I've got Dawn. I don't know what the rule of thumb is for the amount of moderators, if I'm honest, but I think I've got 4. People might have a different opinion on that, of course. Cleopatra is cool nonetheless, I agree. Making some good points. Sharing some wisdom as well. Thank you, Cleopatra. I appreciate that. Appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your experience. It's really positive. I'm going to change the topic a little bit, guys. I've been going on about that for a while now, nearly 2 hours. I don't have much more to say on it. But I do believe the fact that, in my opinion, not everyone's going to agree, but I do believe that there are spirits. There's a lot that we don't understand. There's a lot of energies, a lot of things that go on that we don't understand. I do believe that we're here to learn through the suffering. I believe that there is another side. I believe that there are ghosts. I've experienced it myself. A lot of people might not agree with that, which I respect, of course. But it gives me hope. It gives me hope. And just keep going, guys. I think there's energies around us all the time, supporting us and helping us, let's say, through the tough times, through the suffering. And that's it, really. I don't have anything else to say with regards to that spirituality kind of topic, unless anyone else has got anything else to say on that. I'll leave that open to you guys if you wish to speak about those things. If anyone wants to speak about anything else, though, I might make it a bit more. I spoke about quite a few deep things today, the last 2 hours. Cleopatra's then saying, sorry, I'm having to, the comments have not stopped working on my phone. So I'm now referring to what the chat. Cleopatra's saying, it still creates a balance, which is why the blood is thicker. I don't know what you mean by that. Sorry, Cleopatra. Dawn saying, I love this topic, but the chat box is too small for long stories. I wonder if you could let people send the stories before we live. That'd be a great idea, Dawn. That's a great idea. Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, you can only type so much into those boxes, can't you? It's a bit limited. Cleopatra saying, I want to say I believe in you as I am about peace. I love you. Oh, that's beautiful, Cleopatra. Thank you. That's really nice. Yorick saying, amazing stream, Brad. Great topics. Oh, great. Thank you, Yorick. Thank you. This is thanks to Dawn, by the way. Dawn's idea, by the way. I'm not taking you. I've gone with what Dawn suggested, and yeah, so thanks to Dawn for suggesting this, the idea for today's content. So thank you, Dawn. Sorry, I've missed some of the contents, guys. Apologise. I think it's because it's not coming on my phone anymore. Dawn saying, I can read, but by the time I finish a page, I've forgotten what it was about. So I prefer video and audiobook. I prefer audiobooks now. I used to read a lot of books, but I prefer audiobooks. I can fit it into my life a lot better. How much of that do you retain is the question with regards to audiobooks and traditional reading. That's debatable with the percentage that you retain. But I find that audiobooks are a really good way to fit it. At least you're putting positive information into your mind, into your consciousness, depending on what you read, of course. Kayuk, hi Jay. Sorry. Kajuk, hi from Manchester. Hello, Kajuk. I don't live far from Manchester, by the way. I live in Chorley. About 30 miles away from where you are. It's good to have you with us, by the way. Sorry, I've only just got to your comment now. I'm using my laptop for comments again. Cleopatra saying, even though there's more water inside of you. Sorry. I think I've already read that. Yorick saying, yes, put your email in the description bar for any email regarding the chart. Thank you. I will do that in the future. I'll do that in the future. Okay. Thank you for that suggestion. Dawn saying, I'll watch it back later. Sorry, gutted I missed it. Yeah, that'd be cool. No worries, Dawn. Don't worry. You've got life to live. I did talk about other things at the start of the video with regards to my ghost stories, etc. As best as I could. As honestly as I could. Cleopatra is saying, meaning that there is more water, but the blood evens that out in the body as they both work together to create a balance inside all of us. Cleopatra saying you are welcome. Yeah, thank you, Cleopatra, for your insights and your perspectives. Cleopatra's, Dawn's saying, I'm watching a video and apparently goosebumps are a good way to detect a psychopath and other humans, like things that aren't really human. Yeah, there could be like going about demonic entities potentially there, and dark energies, which I think are a part of the world as well. God, I've got a story. God, no way. Got a story. This is a mad story. Whatever. I'm going to say it. I was walking home one day. It was late at night, and I saw a guy at the side of the street, and looked like he was going crazy, right? He was throwing bins on the floor. He looked like he had a learning disability. I think he had a learning disability. And I walked past him, and he looked tormented and angry, and he was throwing bins on the floor. He was shouting, screaming, going crazy. I walked past him, and then all of a sudden he went calm. I think, okay. And then I was walking home. This sounds mad, man, but I'm going to tell it. And then he went calm all of a sudden. And then I felt like something was following me home. I felt a dark energy there. I was only young at the time. I was probably about 19 years old. I was walking home, and I walked home, and then I went to bed. And then I felt something was there with me. Something really dark and menacing was there with me. And I felt really scared. Honestly, I was shitting myself. And I felt a scratch like on my back. I felt something scratch my back. And I was really, really scared, really, really scared. And then in that moment, I just felt, oh, God, I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to be a good person. I kept saying that to myself. I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to be a good person. And then the energy went away. I don't know if that sounds like a crazy story, but that's another thing that happened. And my belief is, you might think I'm crazy, whatever, is that the entity, the dark entity, was troubling that person with learning disability. I walked past, and it probably saw me as an energy source, potentially, to try and scare me. And then I walked past, and it followed me home. And then I went to sleep, and it started to attack me, it wanted to scare me, to attack me. And then I believe the light within me dispelled it. That sounds crazy, but anyway, that's another story. God, I've never told many people that story, because I think thought people think I'm crazy. Cleopatra's then saying, go back to the comments, meaning you have to read in a balance in order to balance your life out between fact and fiction. Dawn's then saying, it said people respond to AI robots the same way they respond to psychopaths. Interesting. Cleopatra's saying it's the same with what you watch, it's the same with what you consume. I'm gauging from that. Dawn is then saying it's pretty busy in here, like and subscribe, lovely people. Thank you, Dawn. Yes, thank you to everyone that's subscribed. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It means a lot. I put a lot of time and energy into these videos. I try to be my best authentic self, as imperfect as that is. I try to bring meaning to what I'm saying. I don't know everything though. Am I a psychologist? No. No, I'm not. Am I a medical? I keep saying this. Am I a medical professional? No, but I do have perspectives. I do have opinions. I do have experiences, and I believe that people can potentially learn from them. But a lot of what you guys, people will learn from as well. And whoever's on here is reading these comments. What you're contributing as well is a big thing as well. It's not just me speaking; it's you guys as well, giving your experiences, sharing your experiences. The best thing about knowledge is wasted unless it's shared. In my opinion, knowledge should be shared. And you guys have loads of knowledge and experiences as well, by the way, that a lot of wisdom, a lot of profound things that are being talked about, discussed, and being shared. So it's not just me. And I don't want it to just be about just me as well. I'm not trying to come from that angle. It's a collective consciousness kind of thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, she's manifesting and growing as it is. And and my intention as well is for that to be positive, to be light, because the world needs it. Going a bit deep there, but there you go. Sandra's been cooking today. On a lighter note, what are you cooking, Sandra? Dawn's asking. It's good to change subjects as well. Absolutely. Can't always speak about deep things all the time, as interesting as they can be. What are you cooking, Sandra? Dawn saying. And Dawn saying, I don't think you're crazy at all. You're fascinating, and that's a gift. Thank you, Dawn. I think it's my gift, yeah. I'm untrained with it though. I'm honest. I'm not fully developed with that. I've chosen not to. I think I've naturally got something. I think others have as well, not just me. But I've chose to block it because probably partly fear and partly like I just feel like I've got a really busy life and I've got other things to do, and I choose to do those things and not focus too much on that. That's just my thoughts on it. You can spread your light in different ways as well. So Dawn's saying, Sandra's saying, Dawn, it's a chicken lentil, chickpeas, courgette, and carrot stew. That sounds very healthy, Sandra. Lovely. Very nice. Not very meaty, but, lol, but it's delicious, full of protein, lovely seasoning, and hearty. Dawn's then saying, nice with wine. Sandra's then saying, I agree, Dawn. Brad is a very gifted and special person. Oh, thank you. So are all you guys as well, not just me, man. That's why we're all here. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. Sandra's then saying, I don't really drink Dawn. Probably just drinking it with lemon water. It's healthy. Cleopatra said the great saying, I believe we all have a disability in different ways. We have different abilities, or we have disabilities in different ways. Maybe, I don't know. Sorry, Cleopatra, losing my thoughts with that. Sorry. I'm modest about it. Yeah, I like to be modest. I don't want to be. I don't want to be an arrogant prick. I don't want to be that person. No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to be that. So I'm saying I do occasionally. One moment. Sorry. I'm going to change that though. It's open chat now. I'm just going to put open chat. You can go back to the spirituality ghost thing if you wish to. Maybe I will as well. Open chat. What do you want to talk about? I'm just typing it in now. I'm keeping it lighter now. However, I'm open to going to deeper topics, of course. I'm having to use my laptop for the comments. I'll put my notes down. One moment. Sorry, guys, I'm just going back to the comments. I'm being a bit slower. Sandra's saying, I do occasionally have a good quality drink once or maybe twice a year. Yeah. I like drinking sometimes, but I feel like it slows me down. It slows me down overall. And I can get greedy as well. I do enjoy it sometimes, or it helps me to relax sometimes, but I do avoid a lot of the time I don't drink either. I think I've drank once this year, just once. I will do again though, let's be honest, but right now I'm not. Cleopatra's saying it all relates to all aspects and qualities of life, no matter who you are. Cool, Cleopatra, very nice. Sandra's saying, Dawn, he's very modest. Yes, I sense a healthy ego in him. Thank you, Sandra. Trying to have a healthy ego. My ego can run away with me sometimes, though. Oh, definitely. We all have an ego. Everyone's got an ego. Everyone's got traits of narcissism as well. Is it healthy narcissism, healthy ego, or bad ego, or negative ego, or the toxic narcissism, or whatever you want to call it? We all have an ego, absolutely, and you can tell when your ego isn't kicking in. Imagine someone says something to you, and then you get offended, and then you start to go back at them. That's your ego. Your ego's offended usually. That's a sign that your ego's kicking in not such a healthy way, let's say. Sandra's saying, oh yeah, I love food. Drinking makes me anxious and the next day isn't great, so I avoid. Yeah, it slows you down the next day, man. So Dawn's agreeing. Yeah, me too. Dawn's saying that I'm making focaccia. It's a fan catches of bread, isn't it? I think to accompany the meal, Dawn. That sounds really nice. Dawn's saying, perfect. See you soon. Sanders then saying, I do understand why people drink. It can make me feel great and relax. Yeah, it can take the pressure off. I remember sometimes when I've been really stressed out, I've been working really hard, I've been really uptight. I get uptight sometimes, probably a sign of stress. And then I have a drink and I just think it relaxes me. It can be a really good thing if it's in moderation. Cleopatra's then saying, as none have been taught by God and mirror themselves in many different ways, they are known to share knowledge every day, as real knowledge lies within inside of us altogether. Yeah, it does, Cleopatra. That's really a good point. I think we all know this knowledge as well. We all have this wisdom in us. And some of these knowledges and wisdoms are really obvious. They're really obvious, but we still forget them. Well, I do sometimes. But it does lies within us all. Absolutely correct, in my opinion, Cleopatra. Thanks for sharing. Sanders then saying, ha ha ha, you're welcome here, Dawn. And Dawn's then saying, my social anxiety disappears, then I get double the next day. So it's like payback. Yeah, so the alcohol takes the anxiety away, social anxiety, whatever you want to call it, and then the next day it comes back double, twice as bad. And that's why some people drink every day as well, just to avoid those types of things, to numb it. Sanders saying, yeah, that's a downside, Dawn. Sanders saying, hi, Adolf, LOL. Interesting name. I haven't seen Adolf. Can I get a shout off? Shout out to Adolf. How are you doing, Adolf? How's life doing nowadays, Adolf? I think you had a good run. You had a good run, but it came to an end. Going down the Hitler road there. Oh dear. I've given you a shout out though, Adolf. My name's Brad, by the way. Good to have you with us. I'm taking that as a joke, of course. Sandra's saying interesting name. It's good to laugh sometimes, good to be joked sometimes, good to not take things seriously all the time as well. Absolutely, man. It releases stress, doesn't it? Laughing can be a really, really good medicine, potentially. Stone saying, she also described how my boyfriend at the time wasn't my forever partner, but the spirit world wanted to pass on messages about his gran with dementia, and her passing was spot on with everything. Wow. Sounds like your friend's psychic, by the way, Dawn. Has she worked on that, is the question, Dawn? Has she put time and energy into that? Or is she just naturally good at it, naturally gifted with that? I think you need, me personally, I think you need discipline for that type of thing, trusting your intuition and things like that. But everyone's got a different opinion on that, of course. Sanders then laughing. Adolf then says, how are you? Good, thanks, Adolf. Life's good, man. We're just chilling now. We were speaking about spirituality and deeper things, ghosts and stuff. If you've got any stories, you can share them. But we're just having this is a freestyle kind of conversation now. I've gone live to now with the conversation, with the live vlog. Sanders laughing at Adolf. Sander then says, Dawn, that's mental. Wow. Dawn's then saying, yeah, she was really good. She sounds like she's very accurate, should I say. Sander says she's scared to go to a medium. Yeah. And if you're going to do that, it's getting the right one, a real one, because I think there's frauds out there, man. There's definitely frauds out there. There's people that will just chat shit, but there's going to be real ones as well. It's finding the real ones. I don't know what everyone else's thoughts are on that, but I don't think they're all, sadly, it's the world we live in, isn't it? Not all of them are going to be genuine. Some are going to be full of shit. And some of them are going to be true. But I suppose you've got to be open to it as well at the same time. Don saying, this was a medium. You missed my first half of the comments. Don then says, yeah, I understand why Sander, but I really liked her. Sander's then saying, it does sound tempting, LOL. light bulb moment, or not light bulb moment. It's like a crystal ball kind of thing. That's been a picture that Sandra sent. Oh, I'm just gonna chill a minute, guys. Sorry. Ada Donaldson. She's on Facebook. Is that your friend that's a scrub nurse, by the way, Dawn? Or am I completely wrong? Have I just lost my train of thought with that? I'm just chilling out a little bit now, guys. Dawn saying no, she's a medium. I think you missed my first. Yeah, I think, sorry, Dawn, I've missed your first comment. I think I've missed your first comment. Sorry. I think I've missed it. I'll have a look. Oh, right, sorry, I'm going back to your comment, Dawn. I've had so many stories. I went to a medium years ago and she told me my friend John at work was going to have a bad experience and wouldn't be himself for a long time, and his baby grandson died. Oh, sorry. Oh, I missed that comment, Dawn. Sorry, I missed that. I've gone back to it. That sounds harsh, man. Sorry to hear that. It's mad how they can be spot on as well. If you get the real ones, they're really good. Wow. I wonder how them type of people get to that point, though. Do you have to do a lot? I think you have to do a lot of meditating, a lot of inner work to become that good at that type of thing. And what another one, changing subject. I'm not saying there's really good ones. Dawn's given an example of a really positive, good, like kind of medium there that can give psychic readings that are going to be accurate and spot on and really genuine, and that can really help people and really positive, be really positive. Do you know what I've found as well in my life? I'm going to go on about my ex-partner now. She had narcissistic traits, toxic narcissistic traits. She was very selfish, self-entitled, etc. And she was narcissistic, basically. She had narcissistic traits, let's say. And she was all about spirituality. She used to speak about spirituality. She used to speak about live and let live. She used to say all the right things. So sometimes what can happen with narcissists, I'm going to the other end here, of course, they can tie themselves to these types, psychics and stuff like that as well. So they tie their ego to these types of things. And therefore they can do a lot of damage. Think of a fake guru kind of person. I'm going to the other end of thinking now, like a fake guru type of person, an ego-driven person who just wants to control and manipulate everyone. Some of these narcissists jump onto these types of groups because they can see that they've got people that they can manipulate and control. Dawn saying she paid for this one. Sounds like you got a good one, Dawn. Going back to the comments, you paid for that one. You paid for a good one by the sounds of it. Be careful of the frauds, though, is what I'm trying to say as well. Sandra's saying that, okay, thank you, Dawn. I don't use Facebook, but I'll try and find her on Instagram. Dawn saying, me neither. I still have Messenger. Sandra's then saying, yes, definitely Messenger, LOL. Dawn saying, it's okay, LOL, just so you had context. Yeah, thanks for pointing me back in that direction. I missed the comment, but I went back to it to understand it as best I could. And then Dawn saying, she did tell my spooky friend that she's capable of doing readings herself, and she's been told that a few times. Wow, Dawn. I've been told that once as well before, that I could do it. Yeah, I have. Sounds crazy, that, but yeah, I have. However, I don't do it. I don't do it. Just to clarify, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not trained. Oh no, I would never do that. especially with people's personal lives. I don't want to be. You need to know what you're doing. You need to be very well grounded and experienced and put the work in before I believe that you should be doing that with people, because it's very personal, isn't it? Josh is saying, wow, question from Josh. What's your thoughts on suicide? I can talk about that. My brother passed away due to it. Do you think a soul that committed suicide would go to heaven? I'm interested in what your thoughts are. Josh, that's a very profound question. I'm really, really sorry that about your brother passing away. Do I believe that people that commit suicide go to hell or anything? No, I don't think that at all. At all. I really don't believe that. I believe that. I think it's a personal choice. It's a very sensitive topic. A lot of people avoid the topic because it's harrowing. People avoid it because it's dark. You know, I can see it as a dark thing. You know, like, oh, you know what I mean? A lot of people have different thoughts on it. There's a lot of different circumstances with regards to suicide as well. I think do I think that they go to heaven? Yes, I do. I really, really do. I really, really do. Just because you've taken your own life doesn't mean it just means you're going to hell forever to burn in eternity. I do not believe in that, by the way, Josh. I believe that you do go to the other side. I've got a friend that's passed away doing that. I've actually got 4, I've said it before, I've known 4 males, all in the 30s. 3 of them were acquaintances. 1 I worked with, 2 I hung around with every now and again when I was younger. They've all committed suicide. I had 1 close friend that committed suicide as well. All of them were in the 30s. They were all men. That's why I talk about manliness and stuff like that, the troubles that men face sometimes in some of my videos that I've done in the past. And it's harsh, isn't it? It's sad. But I believe my friend, he wanted to go. He tried to kill himself 3 times before he actually achieved it. He was adamant about it. Guess what he used to say when he was younger as well? My friend used to say, I'm going to haunt you one day. I'm going to haunt you one day. And I used to think, oh, he's talking shit. He's joking. And he used to say things like this as well. He used to think, oh, I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go. He used to say that in his 20s. Wow. And 15 years later, he took his own life when he was a bit older. I'm going off track there a little bit there, Josh. But no, I think you do go to heaven, man. And people, that's their choice. It's your life. In my opinion, it sounds harsh. Some people could see it as selfish. Some people could see it as a crime against whatever God or whatever else. I think some people are suffering so much, they don't know what to do. They're desperate. They're in so much pain, mentally or physically, that they've just had enough and they want to go. And I think that's their choice. As harsh as that is. Not everyone's going to agree with that because it's a sensitive topic, isn't it? And that's their choice, man. That's their fucking choice. Their life, their choice. They don't want to be here anymore, then that's their choice. Sounds like a harsh choice. It's a brutal choice, potentially. But do I believe they go to the other side? Yes, I think they do. I think they do. Actually, I know they do. In my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts, Josh? What do you think? I think as well, sometimes, imagine if you're like 80 years old, end of life, you're in so much fucking pain, terminal illness, you're terminally ill, your quality of life's absolutely shit. Imagine this. You're really old. Your body's just in so much pain. There's no way out. There's no cure. It's just agony. Every breath is agony. Would I blame someone for wanting to kill themselves in that situation? No. They want to stop the pain. Euthanasia kind of thinking there as well. Another sensitive topic. So a lot of religious people would be angry at me for saying these things, but that's my opinion. Freedom of speech, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going off on a topic, on a tangent there. But yes, I do believe they go to the other heaven, yes. Dawn saying, yeah, that's why some people don't evolve in the same level in life, because there's more chances. Sorry, I'm trying to interpret that, Dawn. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought a bit. Going back up to the comments, I've lost my comments a little bit. I'm using my laptop because my phone's not showing the comments anymore, which happens quite often when I do these lives. There's loads of comments coming, sorry. Don't say unaware narcs can actually believe they're good because their sense of reality is so messed up. Yeah, in their heads, they're amazing. They're the superheroes of the world. They're fucking perfect. They don't do anything wrong, these narcissistic people. The shit doesn't even smell, kind of thinking. And Dawn saying there's a lot of bad people in churches. Yes, Dawn. Yes, Dawn. So I'm going back to the comments. I work with a surgeon, right? He's a fucking dick. I'm telling you now, he's a piece of fucking shit. He's the worst. He's a really good surgeon, but he's a fucking asshole. I say this with conviction. He's a horrible man. Guess what he is? He's like a bishop. He's like one of God's besties. He's in a church high up. He's such an egotistical asshole. He talks to people like shit. Sorry, I'd love to punch him in the mouth. I'd love to, but I can't, and I won't, of course. But he's not a nice man. Everyone hates working with him. They used to do lists at the weekends, and you get paid good money at the weekends. You get paid more money, and he'd do a list at the weekend, like an operating list, and no one would go. No one put the name down. Usually, everyone would put the name down because they think extra money, happy days. But they wouldn't put the name down because they didn't want to work with him. And he's high up in the church, as well as being a consultant surgeon. He's not a nice man. He needs to pray harder. It's not working for him. That's my story in relation to that. And I've worked with a lot of surgeons, and a lot of them are all right. Some are a bit annoying, don't get me wrong. Some are a bit egotistical, but they're okay, let's say. But he's the worst. And you'd think he'd be the best because he's one of God's besties, let's say, the church's besties. But he's not. He's the absolute fucking opposite. I'm going off on a rant there, aren't I? Getting a bit emotional about that. Luckily, I don't work with him often. And I feel very lucky not to, because he's not a nice person. Anyway. Dawn's saying, I watch a woman on YouTube who does polygraph tests, and she says if someone turns up with a Bible, they're almost always lying. Yeah, they're using it as like a visual aid, like a little, I've got the book of God with me, I'm a good one. It's like you're overcompensating for something kind of thing, Dawn. Absolutely. I can see why you think that there's mistrust there. It's not saying everyone who does that would be that, but I can see why people would think that. Sander's saying, why don't you tap into it and get trained for it? Fucking hell, Sander. Why don't I? Because, I don't know, because I just feel like it's, do you know what? One of the reasons why is a lot of this happens at night for me. It happens at fucking night. I can turn it on anytime I want. Honestly, if I start going to meditation at night, within 15 minutes, I will sense things, sense spirits and stuff like that. Honest to God. And they'll start coming. Faces will start coming in front of me. They'll start being there, trust me. And I just think to myself, it's 11 at night. I've worked all day. I've got to go to work tomorrow. I want to go to sleep. I can't be arsed with it. That's the honest opinion. I know that sounds very lazy, but I think I do so much in the day, and I'm not ready for it. I don't feel like I'm ready for it. I don't feel like I want to put it into my life. Maybe I'm meant to be doing that. Maybe I should do that. I feel like I should be doing that, but I'm not doing it. I'm putting it off. Maybe I'll do it when I'm older. But that's why I don't. Is that a bit selfish? Maybe. But I could tap into it, and then I could start tapping into it very, very quickly. It's just always on the periphery. It's always around me. But I choose to block it. Sandra's saying, Dawn, I can believe that, LOL. Go back to the comments. Dawn saying there are practice groups, Brad, and the practice on each other and verify it if we're accurate or not. I know there is, like spiritualist churches and things like that, open nights, whatever. But again, I feel like I've got a busy life. I'm doing a lot of other things, and I'm not ready for it, if I'm honest. I don't feel like I'm ready for it. Yorick's just saying, was just eating my breakfast, having some eggs with toast and avocado. That sounds lovely, Yorick. Sounds really nice. Good combination, by the way, for a breakfast. So Yorik's just catching up with the chat. Going back to the chat again. Sandra says, oh, yummy, Yorick. I had egg bagel sandwich in the morning. That sounds lovely as well. Eggs are amazing. What an amazing food that is. So nutritionally dense. Just that one food alone. I think it's one of the most nutritionally most dense, best foods you can have if it's on its own. If you're going to choose one food, eggs are up there, in my opinion. Obviously, they give life, don't they? With regards to eggs. Dawn, Sandra's saying, Dawn, love that. Brad should do that. I get what you're saying, but I'm not ready. I don't. Sorry, no. I'm going to be honest. Dawn saying, I personally believe that you keep coming back until you learn the lessons for growth. I love the story of children having past life stories and being able to describe them places they've never been to. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Have you ever watched them videos as well where people have been on the other side, they've died and come back to life? They're really interesting as well. Josh is then saying, that's tough, bro. Sorry to hear that. No worries, Josh. I know it's tough. Sorry, right back at you as well. Sorry to hear that about you as well, Josh. It's not easy, is it? Really isn't. I think about it nearly every day. That, you know, I think about it every day. It doesn't overcome me or anything, but I think about that person a lot. The one that passed away, I think about him a lot. He was a really good person as well. He was a really good person. Yeah, he was. He used to light up the room. I'm getting tingles right now. Wow. I'm getting tingles right now. Yeah, he used to light up the room. He was a really good person. Yeah. He used to laugh and joke all the time. He'd light up the room, man. But that was his decision to go. It was his time to go, maybe. And he did it just before COVID. Did it, if you're going to do it, I suppose it's a good time. Just before COVID, before the world started to change. Just did it before then. It was in February. Just on the cusp of it. Because remember, that's 2018. Was it 2018? I think it was. Sorry. I think it was 2018, just before COVID kicked off. Or 2019. No. I'll tell a lie. I'm really sorry. I'm getting my years wrong. 2020. I'm wrong. February 2020, just before the COVID whole thing kicked off. I remember now. Sandra's saying, I believe that too. I also believe that we're here for a reason and purpose. I do believe we're here for a reason and purpose. Josh is saying, thank you. Sandra's giving Josh a hug. Sorry if I'm just catching up with the comments. Dawn then saying, yeah, that's why some people don't evolve to the same level in this life, because there's more chances. Josh is then saying 100%. Dawn's then saying, my friend has a horrible partner. I'm not allowed to mention it, or she blocks me for months and she's starting to go into church. I'm not saying all churches can be bad. There can be really good things as well. A lot of nice people there as well, potentially. On another note, I told a negative story about that surgeon that's a prick. He's a religious person, and he's not. He's not a religious person at all. He's just an asshole, in my opinion. He's not a good person, not a good God practicing person. He's not the real deal. But I also work with someone else he does sermons and stuff. He's a really nice guy. I work with another scrub nurse I work with. He's a lot older than me. He's from Ghana, and he's such a good person, good man, and he's a real deal. So there can be good people as well that go to churches. I'm not saying they're all bad, but some of them are real. Some of them are full of shit. Some of them are narcissists that are just pretending to be good, let's say. Sorry, I'm just a bit slow with the responses here. Looking at my laptop, looking at the comments, because the comments have gone off my phone, and I'll keep explaining that. Josh says 100%. Sandra then says, Dawn, well, there's a huge amount of adults with emotional intelligence of a 13-year-old. Some of them haven't got the emotional intelligence of a 13-year-old, Sandra. Unevolved and stuck at that level. That's that three-dimensional type of fear-based, ego-driven shit. You don't want to stay there. You ain't going nowhere. You're not evolved. That's it. Some people just stay stuck there. And it's a very ugly adult. You end up looking like a very ugly, unevolved adult when you get to that point. If you're 40-odd years old and you're still behaving like an emotionally choice 13-year-old, it's not good. Think of a man-child. But women do it as well, not just men. They do it in a different style, but it's men and women that do that. It's not just man-child that's real. Women do it in a different way, kind of thing. Stone saying there's another community further up. I don't know which community you're on about. Sorry. Sander then saying I feel like I work with a lot of them. There's a lot of them in society, I'm afraid, Sander. Sander's laughing. Dawn saying, yes, Sander, exactly. Sorry, go back to Dawn's comment. It's taken me a while. Sorry. Dawn saying, my friend has a horrible partner. I'm not allowed to mention it because she blocked me for months and he started going to church. Yeah. Falling in line with that kind of narcissist that jump onto whole spiritual bandwagon. And then they use it to manipulate it, don't they? This will have caused potential wars, won't it? Or we're fighting for our God, our one true God, against the other people that don't believe in our God. The people who don't believe in our God are arseholes. We're the good guys. Let's kill them. That kind of fucking thing. It's been going on for centuries, thousands of years, that kind of shit. That's the end game of that kind of thing that can happen. And some of these people can be very charismatic. Don't saying that's Brad, that's something really special. In relation to what I was saying, yes, thank you. Josh is saying, where do you see this world in 20 where do you see this world in 20 years' time? Is that what you're trying to say, Josh? I think things are going to get worse before they get better, Josh. I think it's turbulent times. I think I might be wrong, of course. I think that the world that we live in is very greedy and ego-driven, very consumerist, isn't it? Consumerism, isn't it? Capitalism. I think capitalism is starting to fall apart a bit now. I think it's coming towards the end of that. I think it's going to get very dictatorial, potentially. 1984, a lot of control. I think it's getting worse. I think it's going to get worse. I think there's going to be turmoil. I think there's going to be wars. I sound really negative, but that's what I think is coming. I hope I'm wrong. Please, I hope I'm wrong. But I think it has to get worse before it gets better again. But however, I think there's a consciousness growing in the world. But I think things have got to get worse before they get better. The ugliness has got to spill out first before the good can come in. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I could easily be wrong with that. And what's it going to be? What's the world going to look like in 20 years? Good question. I think as well, think about the pyramid. You've got a pyramid. You've got a few old people at the top, 100-year-old, and then you've got young people at the bottom. So people that are working are keeping the old people pensions paid for. What's happening? People aren't having children anymore. I'm one of those people. There's a lot of people don't have children. There's less children being born because people can't afford to have kids, amongst other reasons as well. And it's going to end up like that, upside down pyramid. So you're going to have not many young people and lots of an aging population at the top. I think that's coming as well. But it's going to make the best of it. Dawn saying, I love the near-death stories. I love them too. I think they're really interesting and very inspiring. I think they're amazing, by the way. Dawn saying, the Joker is usually hiding so much. You're absolutely right, Dawn. My friend was the Joker. Nothing seemed to bother him. He always seemed to land on his feet. I used to think to myself, I can't live my life like this person. I have to be more organized and structured. He was just lost. I think he was lost. He was trying to put it all together as well. He's trying to be good, but he kept going back to things that weren't good. Obviously, I think he was taking a lot of ketamine towards the end as well, which is a very strong drug. Obviously, you'll be aware of ketamine with regards, it's horse tranquilizer, isn't it, Dawn? But it's used as a street drug as well. Class B, it is. Very psychedelic as well when taken. It's used in anesthetics as well. It's a very powerful drug, as I'm sure you're aware, but not good for you. You can end up with ketamine bladder as well, which basically means that your bladder gets destroyed and there's no coming back. But anyway, that's another topic. Yeah, ketamine bladder, it's interesting, but not good, of course. Sanders then saying, Dawn, your friend is in denial and obviously consciously choosing that guy. I'd leave her to it and the choices he's made. Well, you can't change someone's choices, can you, really? As hard as it is, it's hard, isn't it? When you see someone in pain and suffering, you know why it's happening, but they're just adamant that they don't want to know. Maybe that's their life lesson, and the only way to learn that life lesson is through absolute bloody suffering. And you can't change someone's mind. You can't give a helping hand to a closed fist. So I'll say it again, you can't give a helping hand to a closed fist. You just can't. I suppose you could just be there for them when they're ready, though. Same here, for when you're ready. When you can see, when you decide to see, I'll be here waiting for you. That's maybe the best thing you could do in that situation, potentially. Dawn saying, I was in the zone pairing socks and my phone died. Oh, the joys of pairing socks. Don't let the washing machine eat those socks. Aya says, hey, hello, Aya, if you're still here. My name's Brad, by the way. Sorry, I'm only just catching up with the comments. I hope that you're okay. Sanders then saying, Dawn, I've never lost a sock inside the washing machine. LOL, I need a medal. Yes, you do need a medal, Sanders. Dawn saying, that's just a lazy person's excuse, I believe. You're passionate about your socks then, Sander, about not losing them in the washing machine. Yeah, they say the washing machine's eating the socks, don't they? But usually it's because you've misplaced them. They're easy to lose, though, let's be honest. And that's my opinion on that. Keeping it lighter there with that type of topic. Sander says hello to Aya. Awais Mustafa says, sounds good. I hope I'm saying your name right. Awais, sorry. Good to have you with us. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Sander's asking how he is, how Awais is. Why is that blue? He's asking. I don't know what that means. Why is that blue? Dawn then says, Sander, I buy pack upon packs of white, so I probably lose loads but never notice. That's impressive, though. There should definitely be some sort of award. What about Tupperware lids? Tupperware lids can get lost as well, of course. Sander's then saying, Sander, I buy pack. Oh, yeah, I've already read that. Sander's saying that she uses ketamine in a very controlled way. Yeah, she's working on aesthetics. Yes. Awais is saying, I'm good, thank you. Good to hear that you're good. Glad that you're in a good place, by the way. That's great. Sander's then saying, Dawn, I don't use Tupperware, but all my container lids stay either on the top of the containers or next to them in one designated area. I'm a huge geek, Dawn. Very organised by the sound of it, Sander. Dawn then says, yeah, I've been... 1 second, sorry. Yeah, I've seen what it does to horses from a tiny amount. It's scary. What the ketamine is fucking strong, man. I've never had it. I have, Dawn. I've been a naughty boy when I was younger. God. And honest to God, wow. It's very psychedelic as well. It takes you to another state of consciousness, basically. It's your peripheral vision completely changes. From what you can see in the room completely changes. It's only short-lived, though. God, it's not good for you, though. And I suppose as well, what used to confuse me, I was thinking, I used to do a lot of drugs in my 20s, and this could go against my thoughts on spirituality and ghosts and things like that. I've messed my mind up and my brain up, and that's what's resulted in me having these experiences. But I had these experiences before the drugs as well, and after, so I don't think it is personally. But ketamine's so strong. But it can create ketamine. I think it's ketamine bladder. They don't know the full science behind why it causes it, but it can result in your bladder not working. It becomes very inflamed. It's used as a street drug a lot. A lot of people take it. It's quite cheap as well. They use it for depression, don't they, as well? They use it for antidepressant, ketamine, I think. Don Sanders then saying, Don, I've never used drugs either, but we give ketamine to patients, but very rarely. Don's then saying, nah, I've got boxes with no lids and no lids with no boxes. Lucas is saying hi. Hello, Lucas. Good to have you with us. Sanders then saying, laughing my ass off, Don. I'm not judging. Sanders says hi to Lucas. Sanders then asking Lucas if he's Hungarian or Polish. Lucas is saying, Sander, I'm from Czech Republic, I think. Good to have people from different countries, of course. Sanders then saying, one moment. It literally affects your breathing, consciousness, and it's a full respiratory system depressant. Ketamine is very powerful. Yeah, it is. So strong. So strong. Don't saying you're definitely judging. I'm so disorganized. It's cool. I'm used to it. Everyone's different. Sanders then saying, oh, hi, my Slavic friend Lucas. I absolutely love Prague. I've never been to Prague. What's Prague like? Don saying, it slows down the horse's guts. It can often lead to impaction and other stomach upsets. Yes, and it does the same to humans. Can't believe humans jumped on that bandwagon with regards to ketamine. Not good for you, man. It's really strong. So strong. And then Sander is speaking in probably Croatian or something, and I can't understand it. With regards to Lucas, saying a lot to Lucas. Lucas is then saying, very nice, Sander, thumbs up. Sander's then saying, haha, Don, I'm joking. We're all so different. Yeah, everyone's got a different way of looking at things, and that's okay. I have so many flaws, laughing my ass off. We all have flaws. We all different ways of doing things. Sander's saying thank you to Lucas. Sander's then saying thank you to Lucas. Oh. I'm just relaxing for a moment. I'm going to go to 3 hours, I think, and then I'm going to stop. So Don's then saying, I'm only playing, I'm used to me. Everyone's got their own way of being. Everyone's got their own way of doing things. I'm not that organised, if I'm honest, a lot of the time. I'm not as structured as others. Sometimes I wish I was. I have a more of a laid-back approach to those type of things. Stone saying, I can run around the house all day, getting distracted and starting 20 things and finish nothing. Yeah, so you go from one task to the next, to the next. Yeah, and then you forget what you started. Sometimes I've got to do something. I walk towards somewhere thinking, oh, I'm going to go and get this. I'm going to ask this person this question and get to where I'm going to get to. And I think, shit, I forgot what I was going to ask. I thought, what was I looking for? What was I doing? And I forget. And then I remember a few hours later. Sanders then saying, Dawn, yeah, as long as we are all comfortable with ourselves. That's the main thing. Of course it is. Everyone's got different ways of doing things. Don't saying that I do that all the time. Yeah, I do that. I forget. Sometimes I'll start a conversation, I'll start talking about something, and I'll lose my train of thought, and then I'll forget what I'm talking about. God, I might be showing my age there. God. And then I remember a lot of things that are useless as well. Like I remember facts about like when a song came out in the 90s, or I remember like some sporting event that's very obscure. I'll remember those things, but not remember things that are more useful. Anyway. Sanders is saying, I'm very focused and task orientated. I must finish the task on. I'm obsessed. It can be unhealthy with it. Absolutely can be if you go too far with that. Dawn says, yesterday I spent far too long looking for a razor that I definitely put in the bathroom the first time I looked for it. Yeah, oh, it's annoying, isn't it, when you're trying to find something. You're trying to remember where you put something that you can't find. It's worse in the morning, like with car keys or something like that, or a jacket. I get a bit anxious, me as well. I get pissed off at myself as well. I get pissed off at myself, thinking, oh, what a bloody idiot. I can't believe I can't find it. Where did I put it? And then, yeah. Then I run around for ages trying to find it. Sanders laughing at Dawn, and Sanders saying I get brain fog and brain farts too. We all do, yes, of course. Of course. Don't say, give me some of your focus. I think that's why I like drugs, because I can focus and talk to people easily. Yeah. Used to give me like confidence as well. The drugs that I used to take used to give me like drug-induced confidence. I don't think it was real confidence, but it was still kind of confidence nonetheless. Not real confidence though. That's from my perspective on that. Sandra then says we're only human, not robots. Of course. They take the Dawn. They take the edge off properly. I'm gonna one moment. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna call it a day now. Sandra's asking for Dawn to give some laid backness. Yes, there's beauty in that as well. I'm gonna call it a day, guys. I've run out of steam. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. I'm just gonna read these last comments, and then I'm gonna go. Dawn saying, if I take tramadol, I can clean the whole house methodically and really well, but I don't do it anymore. I've never taken tramadol. I suppose it gives you that energy, doesn't it, to do it? Sandra's saying, oh, I really enjoyed it, Brad. Oh, I'm glad you really enjoyed it. I appreciate that. I'll try and do the email things. People can leave it. Thanks for the suggestion, by the way, with regards to leave my email address so people can put suggestions, or they can write out some stories or whatever that I can share with others. I'm going to look into that in my next lives. If anyone's got any suggestions on any content that you want me to create, then I'll bear them in mind, the ideas, of course. One moment. Let's go back to the comments. Santa's saying, take care, lovely people. Yeah, take care, guys. We're just ending soon. Dawn saying that you took it for back pain, the tramadol, and was on a mission to get shit done. Yeah. Santa's saying thank you to everyone. Dawn saying that would be great, Brad. Yeah, thank you for that. It's going to help. People can get their perspective more clearly then, and then I can dissect it and try and elaborate on it and share it with everybody more clearly. Sandra's saying tramadol's painful. It's a powerful painkiller, absolutely. Yes. Anyway, so thank you for your time. I really appreciate. I've enjoyed doing this live. It's been very interesting. Hope you found it interesting as well. Thanks for everyone that shared the comments. Thanks for anyone that's watched. Obviously, I just finished with this. So this is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is a live vlog. I do these several times a week. I'll be back here next Sunday at 10 a.m. I'm going to be doing a live in the middle of the week. I've got to fit it into my work schedule, so I can't give you an exact time, but I will let subscribers know the day before. Sometimes I do deep conversations. Sometimes I do light conversations. It depends. A bit of a mixture of the both. But thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Look after each other. Live the best life you can. Thank you for your time. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. And goodbye. Thank you.